That wasn't so bad. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Shadowrun 6th edition actual play live sort of preview thing that we have going on here on the Shadowcasters Network. We are showcasing the full core rules for Shadowrun 6th edition, which don't get into your hands until next month at Gen Con, the physical copies, and then sometime after that, the PDFs. So we are your source to see how the rules work in action. My name's Bobby, and I just play in this game. Mr. Johnson there is the one who GMs it. Say hello, Mr. Johnson.
Hello, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, and next to Mr. Johnson is Sarah Krause of Rem Alternities Productions, which we will have something very exciting to talk about in just a second after I get everybody introduced. Say hello, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
And Opti, below Sarah of the Neo-Anarchist podcast. Opti, say hello, Sarah.
Hello. I don't play your games. No gods,
Hi,
no
again.
Masters.
Oh, okay. And finally, Austin, back to drive us around Chicago. We've been walking everywhere since you've been gone the past 2 episodes or so, and playing Skipper, our face rigger. Say hi, Austin. How's it been going?
I've been doing good. I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, we missed you. We missed you, pal.
Can I just pause a moment and say face rigger makes me think of like somebody hacking somebody's like cyber face?
Yeah.
And like I'm gonna inhabit his face. Like so you've got somebody who's like in a remote location basically just acting as the face. Like I'm logged in, I'm jumped into just this guy's face.
Yeah.
Motors move the cheekbones around,
Right?
and I'm just
Yeah.
controlling that.
I can feel it. I can taste everything.
Give him
It's
that
as if I'm
twitch.
his mouth. Right. I want a face trigger now.
Yeah.
Remember those old Transformers, right? Where like one Transformer was the body and like a smaller Transformer like was the head.
Yeah. You could do a lot with that. Making people wink at inappropriate times and stuff.
This is someone's cyber face.
Right? Cyberface. That needs to be a thing. I can't remember. I can't remember cyber faces, but it's got to be a thing.
So,
Not
Lady Gaga
really.
song.
I mean, you could make their you could do some things, I imagine, but I don't think you would just control someone's face.
No, he
Cyber-
can't
unless
rig
they were like
my
a biodrome.
cyber face.
I mean, if they were like a Bunraku puppeted up, perhaps. Like with
Perhaps.
a biodrome rig.
Perhaps.
Ugh, I don't want to think any further down those lines. That's icky stuff.
Anyway, Sarah, I was commenting before about how calm and collected and not stressed out you must be. So tell everybody why that is the case.
So, after 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and joy, and learning, and everything else, our Kickstarter launches tomorrow for Chicago Shadows.
What?
Yeah! Tomorrow! It'll be noon Eastern that we launch, and I am actually going to drop in the chat the preview page, so everyone watching tonight gets a little sneak peek at what's coming tomorrow. So, yeah, it's super exciting and kind of surreal, and it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very exciting.
If you watch the intro video, you'll hear a familiar voice that's not mine. I don't know if I'm pointing in the right place. I am. It's Bobby. And then you'll also see in the bios a couple other familiar faces. Austin, we need to get you into something because we got to get you on there so it's consistent.
Well, I'm willing to do something like an act. I'm actually a legit prop master too. That's what I was doing the last month.
So I'm going to need a futuristic looking gun.
We can make that.
You're mastering props.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
He's
Okay.
Prop mastering
rigging.
technique.
I just dropped in the link, guys, so you can check it out. Don't watch it now. Watch us. But
Yeah. No, you know what?
Bring it up in separate.
Watch it now. We're just going to be babbling for a second. Watch it now. It's not that long, and it's very important.
We'll just do like a three minutes of dead air so everyone can look at it.
You
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
look at it while we listen to Austin talk about. I want to hear him talk about what's one of your favorite prop building techniques. Like, if you're told to do this thing, you go like, "Ooh, goody! I'm glad they asked me to do that today."
Oh
Hey,
gosh.
Sarah, I'm gonna write you something in the Discord chat.
Yeah. I don't know. Usually, I'm working on enough low budget stuff where I don't get to make a whole lot of specialty things. It might be one or two things that ends up different every time. Although my favorite thing to do is, of course, drugs. Just getting to teach the actors, like, okay, this is how we're going to snort. We use like powdered sugar for like cocaine and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually had to teach Casper Van Dien how to snort coke. That is my claim to fame right now. Because, yeah, even though he's been acting for so long, I'm surprised, because almost every movie that I work on has some sort of drug binging scene or like a drug house or something like that. This last one
Drugs,
did.
it's your specialty. So
Yeah, no, I got to bring him. I have my whole collection of crack pipes.
nice.
I got needles with a retractable thing, rubber tourniquets, all that fun stuff. So I just got to cross my fingers I don't get pulled over with it.
No kidding. Is
man.
snorting powdered sugar anything like when I snorted a Kool-Aid when I was a kid?
Not quite. The powdered sugar, specifically powdered sugar, not flour, because it's not a particulate, and so it'll go into your bloodstream inside your lungs rather than sitting there.
Oh, that's
So, yeah.
Pro tip, guys.
Pro tip.
Stick to the powdered sugar.
Powdered sugar, vitamin B12.
Yeah. That's great. So now that everybody's had a chance to check out the Kickstarter that is going live tomorrow, which you should definitely check out, because especially all of you people who are always talking about and posting on the Shadowrunners Union, oh man, I would love it if there was a Shadowrun thing like this, and they're like some trailer or something, and they're like, oh man, wouldn't it be great to have I'd watch this. Well, you can help make it happen, so go do that. Help make it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sarah, you've posted pictures online before, right, of everyone in costume and...
Yeah, our Facebook and our Twitter both have, we've been releasing each week a new photo. I'm really excited. The photo we dropped this week is of a fighter type, and he's actually YouTube famous. He's the Potter Collector from the Harry Potter Collector on YouTube. He has like 100,000 subscribers. So he's going to be promoting for us too. It's exciting.
That's really cool.
Yeah. See, I make real life sounds like Danen.
Yeah, I was
Sorry.
about to say. All right, so why don't we do that, Mr. Johnson? Take it away. Get us started. Get the ball rolling.
All right. Well, we're setting the stage here. It is deep in the nighttime within Fleshmonger's territory. There are various different howls of pain and some gunshots going off here and there in the darkness, or groans here and there, because there has just been this like swath of devastation of fighting that's just happened. Some of which you've been directly involved with, and some of which more indirectly involved with, and some of which you've just discovered. Because when we come upon the group once more, pick up on what you're doing, you are all at this dock wagon ambulance, which is sitting there, engine still running, lights still on. There's still AR warnings of like, stay back, official dock wagon operations, you'll be fired upon, all this stuff. But all the dock wagon people are dead, and Matador is in there. You saw him, left him in pretty rough condition because Jin just shot the direct out of him with normal bullets. I figured they'd patch him up later. Dock wagon picked him up, and I think that was because Jin hacked someone's dock wagon signal and then stuck it on Matador's location.
Yeah.
Used some decking plus edge trickery there.
Matador looked pretty dead. I'm not sure.
Yeah, now he's got a bullet. Now he's got a hole through his face.
And all of the dock wagon people were dead too, right?
Yeah, they've all been killed. Close range gunfire mostly.
Which kind of leads me, normally these dock wagon guys are pretty badass. So it leads me to wonder who could have done that.
So you just discovered this, you just had a moment. Skipper, you're actually back in your truck, which is kind of stealth parked nearby, partially inside of a ruined building, I think. You kind of put in there nice and snug, and you've got a a number of different drones out to keep an eye on what's going on, and you're on comms with people. So you've also just picked up this information through the team.
Yeah. So they're going to be able to. Well, are we sure that this is a legit dock wagon?
It looks like it, and but you haven't actually taken much time to check them over. That said, you do know that Jin did some sort of like decking shenanigans to arrange for Dockwagon to show up, but it looks like somebody showed, like, while the team was showing up all back at your vehicle, or kind of making their way back there, there was some other ambush that happened over there, and your target was killed. Looks like perhaps like intentionally executed with Dockwagon as collateral damage.
Okay. Well, I mean, I hate to be a downer, but it sounds like this job is about 6 foot under, and we should get out.
Oh, frag.
It appears that you are correct. Do not see us being able to salvage this.
Yeah, well, we can get a few free med kits out of it.
That is a great point. Why don't we just... No, we couldn't take the entire thing, but we could probably salvage a great deal from the inside, yeah?
Yeah, the back doors are open.
Given that the Dockwagon personnel almost certainly have biomonitors that might transmit on their own, there's going to be some sort of Dockwagon response coming that is going to be very, very angry. Might not want to be caught looting the ambulance when they show up, and it probably won't take them very long to get here.
Look, we need to get the frag out of here. Let's take some images of what happened here so that we can maybe cover ourselves from the Johnson. This is all fragged, and I don't want to be here when Dockwagon's reinforcements show up.
Good call.
All right, so each of you kind of have a chance to do maybe one thing before I'll put a ticker on something, and maybe you'll get more time. Jin, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna get pictures, as you said, of everything. I'm gonna make a quick perception test to see if there's anything lootable.
There's lots lootable.
Like something that's just easy to grab, maybe.
Okay, do you have any sort of knowledge skills that might relate to medical stuff?
That is a big no.
Then give me a perception test.
Technical stuff, I guess, not necessarily medical, but...
Sure, just give me a perception test then to look it over and see what you can find.
7. I forgot how to roll. Hold on.
There's a button.
Yeah, I know.
Click. That didn't work either.
1, 2 successes.
You do it the old-fashioned way and count the hits.
With 2 successes, you know that there's going to be some little storage pods around where they might keep some of the really valuable stuff that they might carry around. Possibly cybernetic replacement thingamajiggers, more expensive and useful drugs that they might track that might have a higher street value. So you take a look and you find this what appears to be, like this little safe that's got a maglock protection thing on it, and it appears to have some sort of power system as well. Like maybe it's got some sort of a special climate control, hermetically sealed, cooled, all that stuff. Might be worth breaking into if you've got the time.
Does anyone have the entering and breaking specialty? Or should I just try to hack it? I'll take that as a no from my team.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of nothing over here.
I mean, I have no. The answer is no.
I'm curious if we should just take the whole safe itself physically if it's climate controlled.
I am hesitant to do so because we never know what sort of things they might have on the inside. So
it's also kind of like attached to the chassis of the vehicle.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you could remove it. but
I
it
have
would take some time.
cracking and electronics and engineering, but no
From-
specialty and no maglock passkey.
From
It would
over
take electronics roll to crack, to basically crack the case on it, and then you could probably attach a data tap and hack it pretty easily. But sorry, Rooster, what are you saying?
from over like walking towards the truck, I'm like loading a new fresh clip into my Desert Strike, and I'm yelling over my shoulder, "Whatever you're gonna do, make it quick, because we're not gonna be here much longer."
Okay, well, I'm doing this really quick. All this is taking place in like the span of like 15 seconds.
Right?
Yeah, and as
15
you're doing
seconds
that,
too long, according to Rooster.
you're working on that, and you've been discussing this. You're discussing you're planning how you're going to get in, and you've discovered this. Danen, what are you doing during this time?
I'm still horribly disfigured and burned, correct?
Oh, are you still unconscious? I remember you were.
No,
you were...
I think we woke me up. I think we did, right? Nobody pulled
I'm
me
pretty
out.
sure.
So yeah, I think we're. Yeah, I'm awake, but like I'm.
That's you're back. You're back in the Toyota Gopher then, probably laying in the back, but trying to stay as comfy as you can. I imagine.
I'm still pretty much sobbing and terrified, and like it's been a bad night.
How much damage do you still have?
In terms of damage,
You had a heal spell, right?
I did, and so I've only got 2 boxes of physical now, but you told me based on my 3 glitches in a row last time that even though like I was feeling better, like my hair is gone, my face is mostly melted, and like
you
I'm
look terrible.
pretty.
The worst you've ever looked right now.
Yeah, so I'm like just feeling like skin being lumpy where it shouldn't be, and like yeah, I'm crying a little bit, a lot.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
lot
okay,
of
plastic
various
surgery's never been better.
itchy patches and.
Guess whose essence is about to go down?
All right. So yeah, overall you're pretty well healed up though. And oh, by the way, since this is a new session, everyone's edge does refresh to their edge attributes value. So
Speaking of that, I just got 6 hits on a logic-based test, and I get an edge for using a logic.
we'll leave that be for the whole test just to crack the safe. So you do that. It takes you a little bit of time. There's still no immediate sign of Doc Wagon showing up as you're doing that. Rooster, did you want to be doing something else at all while Jin was cracking the safe?
No, I'm watching intently by the truck. I want everybody in my sight line, and I'm watching the entire place to, making sure any sign of anybody approaching.
And then Skipper, how about you? You've been sort of on the comms and maybe watching through some drones and stuff, but anything else you want to be doing during this time?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure the engine's good, ready to go. So as soon as these guys throw whatever they loot into the back of the truck, probably on top of poor Danen, and we get in there, we can rocket on off.
Yeah, fortunately,
Hopefully.
with all the lead that's been flying around, nobody's put holes in your truck this time.
Mm-hmm. It's a nice change of pace. Usually happens from the inside.
I cry a little harder.
She's not in the mood for jokes.
The night
right
is still not over yet, and Danen is back there, and I believe does own a firearm. So.
No, I do not. I do not own one.
All right. So, Jin, you get the safe cracked, and I'll turn it to the chat. What interesting, potentially valuable or potentially dangerous thing to find does Jin find in the safe that he cracks in the Doc Wagon ambulance? We'll give it some time for the chat to come up. As I say, Skipper, go ahead and give me a sensors test. I think it'd just be perception based.
Yeah.
Unless you use nuts.
Yeah, I don't have any clear sight loaded onto Dom, so I think that's just going to be... What is it, sensors twice?
A perception test, but you're using kind of your drone sensors to notice stuff.
Okay. That's going to be
Trying
7 dice.
to figure out if there's a different dice pool than a normal perception test.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got 2 hits with my regular perception.
Okay. So far, it doesn't look like there's any sign of Doc Wagon or any response showing up. There's some spread of gunfire and some different forms moving around here and there, but it generally seems like there's a few chaotic remnants of the firefight, and anybody sensible is generally hunkered down or just trying to get away.
Mhm.
So yeah, there you are with the dock wagon van full of corpses, and the Opti's got that safe opened up. What's your next move?
I think we need to contact Mr. Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of here and we'll call him on the way.
Cool TC says CFD nanites. That's what you find in the ship.
I think there's going to be a variety of things in there, like different stored. It's like packed full of different stuff, and it's all kind of cooled, and various different things are labeled, but the labels are all sort of alphanumeric codes that relate to their system. So, if you were a dock wagon person with their software running, it would tell you exactly what's there, give an inventory if you're logged in, but you haven't taken the time to do that stuff yet. So you could probably just scoop all this up into, one of the duffels nearby or one of the bags and run off with it. Otherwise, you could start taking some time to pick through it and see what's there. It seems like it might be an urgent time to get going.
Yeah, let's just throw everything to a duffel and get out of here.
All right.
So yeah, we're bugging out, I guess.
Let's
Bug
go.
Out, you drive away, and yeah, there it's dark. You sort of make your way away from the scene, and there's no sign of other trouble. It's otherwise pretty quiet. Unless you go looking for problems, you're able to make your way away from the scene and start getting away, and it kind of feels like you're away from the danger. You've got some loot from a dock wagon ambulance, and that's all you have to show for yourselves from this adventure, besides Devin's scars and lack of eyebrows.
Shoot, did anyone check Matador's body?
We gave a cursory glance around.
Well, there was a hole through his face, and I believe somebody who was there had taken some time to check him over, and he'd basically been looted. I mean, he still had his whatever clothes he had on him, but there was nothing else on him.
Yeah.
No comm links or anything that might have any information we could use?
It seemed like the way he was laying, like maybe his pockets had been turned out.
Okay.
Like someone had shot him in the face and then taken whatever he had on him, other than his clothes. No one thoroughly searched him though, so if he had anything really well hidden, or even in a smuggling compartment somewhere, you wouldn't have found it with the time you took to look for it, because nobody said they were taking that kind of time with it.
Okay. Do we have his comm code or something? Jin, is there any way you could track the person who looted it from him, assuming they still have the comm link on, which is decent chance?
I don't know that we had... Did we have his comm link in the first place? I guess no, I don't remember.
You'd have to get him to answer the comm, and then then you could start tracing it from there. You can't just trace it from knowing their phone number.
Yeah, but the first step towards maybe is that something along those lines a possibility.
I mean, sure.
I'll just skip ahead and say that if you do have that, it's not useful because it goes straight to automated voicemail or something.
Okay.
All right. Damn.
Yeah, no luck, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, not a bad idea, but it doesn't go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's clear the CZ at least, and we got images to show Mr. Johnson, and we'll have to make that call.
All right. So making your way out of the CZ, Austin is a skipper taking the let's drive too fast for trouble to notice us and respond in time to mess with us approach, or let's kind of kill the headlights and try not to make some noise and take it slow and not attract any attention.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the gone in 60 seconds approach.
All right.
Just get out of there before anyone could show up.
Sounds good. Just go ahead and give me a single vehicle test, and we'll see how that goes. That would, of course, benefit from your control rig, which I think is a direct dice pool bonus.
Yeah.
And I think since you'd be VR, you would get an edge just for doing it.
Whoa, is that a nice roll or what?
Yeah,
Five.
that hits.
Sorry, how many was that?
5 hits.
Okay, yeah, with 5 hits, you're hitting the speed, you're getting the corners just right, maybe doing a little bit of drifting so you don't have to slow down so much. There's a couple of different what you think might be ganger blockades where they're planning to like stop somebody who's coming through so they can shake them down for something or kill them or whatever. But you blast through before they get their stuff ready to go, and avoid a few traps and make your way out to the edge where there's the wall and there's a line of cars waiting to go through under Lone Star observation. During this is going to take probably about 10-15 minutes. Is anyone doing anything else during this time, or just waiting till you get out of there?
Mostly waiting to get out, doing my best to comfort Danen, but not in like the way that you've had someone on the back. More like get your shit together. Like you're a Shadowrunner now. What did you fragging expect? But he genuinely thinks that's helping.
All right. Well, what skill are you using to do this? So, like intimidate, or
I do have an influence.
Intimidation.
I do have an influence with a specialty in leadership.
That's right. Yeah, intimidation would be under influence, and this would also be a leadership technique. So yeah, go ahead and give me a leadership test.
All right.
Danen, would you say that his approach is helpful for you, or particularly unhelpful?
I think in a way it would actually be helpful, because it's not. Yeah.
In that case, Rooster gets the edge and not you.
Sure.
If you said he's like unhelpful, then you would get the edge instead of this test. But you're not really resisting. It's more of a
I'll roll.
just to see how he does kind of roll here.
That's fun.
I got 3 hits, and I'll use that edge I just got to get myself 4 hits. Why the heck not?
All right.
Have to use it or lose it, right?
No. I guess I can't use it to get 4 hits. I'd have to use 2. I'll use it to re-roll a die. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
I'll re-roll one of those. And I got 1, so that is 4 hits.
Okay, yeah, with 4 hits, Danen, you feel, I guess you feel inspired in whatever way that might inspire you. It's up to you how to interpret it, but you kind of feel like you have whatever it is you need to kind of get yourself through this for the moment.
Yeah, he's sort of like, listen, Danen, there will be time to pout and whine about this, but right now is not the time. At any moment we could be dropped in on by these dockwagon guys, and I need you at your best because we need you on this team. You get us out of Drek, and we need you sharp and clear.
So as he's talking, I'm only half listening at this point. Like what he said originally, was super helpful, but I actually start to phase into the astral, and I kind of look at my body and everything and remember that my astral aura, it really represents who I am, and no one can take that from me.
The magic is inside of you all along.
Astral aura, it also looks kind of raw and sore and blistered in its own sort of weird way. Because you sort of feel that as well. Moonshine on air? Yes, that's exactly what I'm drinking. Just a giant mason jar full of water, because the stay hydrated bot, I want, don't want it coming after me.
It works, doesn't it? It reminds me.
Okay. So.
Cool.
Let's see, Jin, are you going to be checking out what's in the bag?
Oh yeah, I was just waiting for you to tell me, but yes, I will.
Looking through that, some of the stuff you actually is labeled in ways that you might just be able to understand by looking at it. Other things you probably have to have the right knowledge skill or some. Do you have any sort of skills in biotech? or first aid or
No,
whatever?
we know that we need to get those, but we have not yet.
With
Okay.
what time?
So there is a collection of restricted drugs, a few doses each of bliss, as well as jazz, actually.
Well, unfortunately, these are not going to be helpful to me, but some of you heathens may wish to partake in these. You see that faith and
There's-
technology have created something perfect, and that's me. So I don't spoil it with these base pharmaceuticals.
There are
I will
also
gladly spoil it with some of that bliss.
there are also I will say a couple of containers that they each kind of have their own hermetic seals, and they're marked with like these big kind of angry looking labels. Like one's yellow and one's red. They kind of have this biohazard symbol look to them, but it's not quite exactly that. Again, it's got this like alphanumeric code on there that if you had the dock wagon codes, you'd know what the heck it meant. probably.
Dinnen, I believe, has some biotech, right? So I'm gonna take those and just kind of hold them out to her face in a very uncomfortable way, like in a way that I obviously don't want them near my face, but I'm putting them in her face.
Biotech. So does that affect my gremlins at all?
No, not necessarily, unless you're going to handle them.
Okay.
You're
'cause
not trying to open them or anything. You're just looking at them, right?
Okay. Yeah. I don't have anything that really helps me with that.
You have a biotech skill, is what we're asking.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I do
you look
not.
at them.
Well, I thought somebody
they-
did, didn't they?
They look
Nope.
like small sealed
I-
boxes. There's probably something valuable or dangerous in them.
Okay. I defaulted on a roll once, but that was it.
No, you can't
okay.
default on this.
Yeah.
All right, well
No,
then
I
I
meant-
apologize for putting it in your face as if that was a thing that should be done.
But now I'm all inspired to be helpful, so I'm still gonna look at it and go, "This is either expensive or dangerous."
You're like, by God, I'm gonna make a statement one way or the other.
Just gonna assume it's insulin. Let's see.
So I guess I would just kind of huck it back in the thing and deal with it later. Oh no, wait! You know what I could probably do? I could probably hit the matrix and do some legwork and look up these codes, the dockwagon codes.
Oh, sorry.
Fine.
There's also a separate, like a sealed plastic pack that has 5 different kind of hypo nodules that are labeled gamma scopolamine.
I don't know what that means. Does anybody know what that means?
It's a kind of an interrogation drug.
Oh, hell yeah! He
That was
says, just like Jim.
Enthusiastic.
Going through a Lone Star checkpoint.
I'm not gonna drink it, right, or shoot it up. I'm just saying that'll come in helpful in the future.
Yeah.
None of this,
It's a
like,
good
this
party
is
drug.
all, like, obviously stolen from dock wagon stuff. So, yeah, as
Just
you're kind of
shove it
getting
under the
closer to the
seat.
checkpoint.
I have
Alright.
these installed for smuggling. Never thought I'd be smuggling myself. Or
Alright, so
drugs.
there's not many cars going through, but it looks like Lone Star is doing their due diligence with each one. They walk up and they check this in and take a moment to look through the windows, have them untint them and see who's there. And
I leave again because my sin is burned.
all right, so you kind of get out and slink away. Give me a stealth check.
Dear God,
Stealth plus agility.
we're starting this now. Okay.
Oh, are you doing your go jump over the wall bit again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give yourself an edge on this test because in this situation you feel hideous and you especially don't want to be seen, and that just helps all your efforts to not get noticed.
Cool. So stealth plus
Gotta get-
agility, you said?
Yes.
All right, let's see what happens here.
Get you a fake sin, and then
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
Would have been nice to get paid.
Cheat,
Then you
guys.
could afford one.
Guys.
What
we
happened?
got some drugs we can sell.
It's happening again.
I
Oh no,
quit.
help, it's
I
happening.
quit roll 20.
Oh no. Well, it's
0
not a
hits.
critical glitch. At all.
Yeah, so how many do I have to spend to reroll my failure?
4
it's
to
4,
reroll
yeah.
all of them.
I have
Otherwise,
4,
it's
let's
1
do it.
per. Okay.
There we go. Ready for 0 number 2. Ooh! You got some hits.
Yeah.
That's a change.
So you get out. There's like 2 cars ahead of you, right? So there's a number of cops about and some drones and things, and you get out and start moving away kind of in the shadows. And just as you're about to duck into an alley, a cop walks right out in front of you, and he tosses down a cigarette and steps in it to put it out. He just happens to turn away from you to look down to step and put a cigarette out. So you spend your edge and you kind of slip around behind him and down the alley. That was really
Ugh.
Anybody
Can't
else
handle
taking any other preparatory actions before you go through the checkpoint?
I can hear Danen now going.
But I whisper it.
I'll put my I'll take my desert strike off of my lap and and put it in the bag. I have all the required licenses, but I don't want to invite trouble. So
Okay, just to set the stage here, you're approaching this big old concrete wall that was just hastily set up a number of years ago to protect the world from what was going on in Chicago. And there's essentially like a tunnel type thing drilled through it. It's not very far. I mean, you can see through the other side pretty easily. It's not like you have to drive through a big long tunnel, but it's this big sort of constructed tunnel thing which has been since sort of dug out and built into this sort of reinforced base for, you know, Lone Star or whoever to decide who gets in and who gets out and deal with people not getting out. They don't want to get out, that sort of thing. So in that sense, there's probably like a barracks full of cops here. There's drone support. There's undoubtedly some magicians and spirits keeping an eye on the astral. But what you see here as you're approaching is there's just 4 police officers who are out moving in pairs, each approaching the vehicles. And as you come up, one of them comes up with a scanner, the other one hangs back. He's got an assault rifle just in the kind of a casual ready position where he couldn't be easily grabbed and can see the vehicle pretty well. And you're just given instructions over AR to make sure your sins are broadcasting, along with any appropriate licenses, disable your tinted windows so you can see clearly in your vehicle, make your hands available at all times, so etc. There's a big long thing that you're maybe scrolling past or just getting out of your AR field of view as the police officers approach. And are any of you not broadcasting a sin?
nope, I'm doing it.
I am as well.
Please call out the rating of your...
Yes.
All right. Please call out the ratings of your fake sins.
Rating 4.
Rating 4.
Oops, I rolled 1 too many dice there. So the sin scanners check out. The officer, as he sort of walks past, almost seems a bit bored, but he is looking in the vehicle and looking things over. So I would say, considering the bag full of contraband, I'm gonna have Jin. We call for Jin to make a palming test. So that's a stealth.
I did say that I
agility.
stuck it under the seat.
Yep. So
Okay.
that's your attempt to hide it. So this is your skill check to see if that worked. I'm going to give you an edge
palming,
because
huh?
Yep, I'm going to give you an edge because you're situation-wise. I mean, it's a vehicle. You've got your body in the way. You can stuff stuff under there pretty easily. There's plenty of room.
Is palming stealth, or is that a particular skill? Because I don't.
Palming
have...
would be a specialization of stealth. So I said it's a palming test, but it's the dice pool is stealth plus agility. So
Okay.
if you have a palming specialization, you would add that in. Otherwise, it's just a stealth test because palming is rolled into the stealth.
That's a dose.
Hmm.
Big dose of stealth. That's 2 in English.
All right, so he looks in and then holds up a flashlight and shines it like down at your shins, at your legs. Like looks like he's maybe spotted like that's odd about the seat, and he's trying to look at it more. You will have a moment to maybe do something about that if you're going to.
Yeah, I'm going to say you noticed the boots, right? I had them I had them special ordered. You see the little tornadoes that come up from the heels. I rather enjoy them actually, but if you look here on my lapel, you can see that they match. I had my Matrix persona specialized, by so and so artist as well to match. I just kind of start bullshitting about fashion.
All right, give me
Shoes.
give me a con roll for this, and I'm gonna give him an edge because he's very suspicious of you, and he's
Well, I don't know.
trying to look at something, and you're trying to distract him. So, yeah, charisma -1. You can attempt that, but you still get an edge out of it.
I'm just warning my teammates ahead of time.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa! Dose on 3 dice. Still,
So
but
he-
it might not matter. But
he sort of leans over, and says, "Listen,
You, excuse me, officer, if you like the boots, maybe
shut
I can,
the frag up, you obnoxious trog. I am talking.
sir, this is
I'm
being
talking
recorded.
to this man here.
Please don't speak to my gentleman friend this way.
You're obviously a batch of runners coming out of the CZ. You've got something valuable there. I don't give a frag what it is. But I'm
These
gonna
sort
get
of
my cut.
accusations. Oh,
Oh, we're gonna play it that way? You don't want to have a nice
well, no,
casual
we
evening?
didn't know it was like that, officer. We can
Piece
play it
of
any way you
dreck.
want. Well, let's be civil if we're going to exchange favors. That's how exchanging favors works.
All right.
Some of that music you want to slide this way, maybe? Davis?
I let's see. What am I going to give him?
Everything all right up there, Ron? The one with the rifle toward the back is calling out. He goes, give me a sec. I think I see something.
I'm gonna.
He kind of looks
him,
directly at Jin.
I'm gonna slide him all of the recreational drugs that we picked up.
No.
It's not worth it. They're minor. All the recreational stuff, but I'm not going to give him the interesting things or the truth serum.
All right,
Well,
give me a influence test, I guess. This would be like an etiquette.
Yikes! Face should be doing this. I'm gonna kill us all.
I tried to step in, but he doesn't like, the tusks, I guess.
I do.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to smooth this over here, if that's all right with you, Jen.
Oh my God! Look at this! I'm crushing it. Consistently 2 dice. Consistently rolling 2 with 3 dice. I'm on a roll. That was a double entendre. That was a triple entendre because I said double and I've been rolling 2. And now it's a triple because I rolled 3 in a row. It's a quadruple entendre.
He just like looks down and like turns it, like his lips tighten, and he's just got this moment where you can tell he's making a decision right here, and it's gonna have a big factor what he decides and how the rest of your night goes, one way or another, and probably whether his life is gonna end in this moment or not. But he just seems to like, and then he unzips his jacket, reaches in, takes the drugs, stuffs them in, kind of surreptitiously. Says, God, frag, haven't you people ever heard of Nuyen? Zips up his thing. You come through again, you better have something better for me.
Okay.
Looks over at Rooster
You
and
will.
says, and just get fragged, Trog. We don't need your kind around here.
Oh, such harsh language. Whatever happened to civility on the streets?
Got an itchy
And he
trigger
calls
finger.
back.
Chicago's a garbage city.
You bye.
He calls back, nah, we're good. Let him through. He says, you sure? Yeah, they're good. He looks back at the vehicles it passes through and like moves over to the next vehicle, and yeah, you're pretty sure they're gonna take their frustrations out more on them now, even so. But you've made it through out of the CZ, and you move around and pick up characters. Dinen, who has managed to slip through with your own spirity means. Actually, let's call for another stealth roll for that, as you're trying to slip through and avoid the magical patrols.
I lean over to Jin and say, I was going to offer him 200 nuyen.
Bliss, man. People out here could use some of that bliss.
Yeah, everybody needs to calm the frag down.
I just didn't want him to get upset at you guys and maybe do something rash.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Okay, yeah, you managed to slip through. It was maybe a close thing, but those patrols, you never quite know when the spirits are just going to come zipping on through at high speeds, but you've started to get used to the timing of the patterns at least, and there's usually at least a few seconds gap between them at the shortest, so you slipped on through, and you're picked up by your team, and you are now driving away. Is anybody going to call your Johnson yet, or are you going to wait for another time?
Have to be me, isn't it?
Yeah, Skipper.
You can have Jin
Okay,
do it.
give him a
He's
call.
really great at talking to people.
As we've seen.
I'm
long as-
consistently okay.
Yeah, you actually
He
did
was
pretty
good
well. Okay just wasn't what was called for in that situation. Get the cop off your back.
Yeah, I'm gonna set Dom to autopilot then as we're going on the interstate. And, Mr. Johnson.
All right, Big Dave picks up the phone, basically halfway through the first ring. Hey, how'd the op go? Good to hear your voice.
Sometimes you shoot for the stars and you shoot for the moon and you land in the stars. Well, we're in the stars here.
So everything went well? You've got him? Is he,
Except the
one
star is
piece?
a black hole.
Yeah, well, there's one big piece of him. Some of the more useful pieces in the headspace. The other runner team beat us to it.
Other runner team, what?
Yeah. Picked up by a dock wagon and got hit. And we got to him. His frontal lobe.
Frag. Well, you've got him, right? You got him with you? What did he have on him?
Nothing. You're all already been looted by the time we pulled around.
Oh, direct, of course. They geeked him, you said?
Yeah, pockets turned out,
100%?
no guns left on him. The whole dock wagon team, too.
Jesus, Frag. Okay, this is not good. That's not how this operation was supposed to go. I thought... I'll call you back. Click.
Alright,
How did he sound?
honestly.
Like did he sound mad?
No, it almost sounded like this was a very real possibility that would happen. So hopefully he's got some plan in mind for our next step.
All right. I guess
In the meantime,
I guess we just wait now. I'm banged up pretty bad here.
well,
Let's
maybe we should.
get some rest, maybe.
Does anyone have a good spot we can hang out in and get patched up?
Well, I'm friends with or I'm professionally acquainted with Dr. Diver now.
You get a call back from Big Dave.
Hey, Big Dave.
Hey, so it turns out our player was a lot more interested in this guy than his actual, or he was a lot more interested in like what this guy had on him apparently than his actual life. So please tell me you have the body, right? Whatever you hit on him when you found him, you had been turned out, but there might be something like, they seem convinced like there might be something like hidden on him that might not have been found.
Check.
All right, well, I'm going to need you to bring the body to this, it's a truck stop in Waukegan, just off the highway.
Oh my god, we have to get the body now.
A couple blocks away from the red roof off the highway, so you can't miss it. It's like one of those big places the giant semi-trucks go when they dock and recharge, and it's got the Coffin Motel and big giant cow.
Bring it right there.
All right, how soon can you get here? Like 10 minutes? I'm on my way now.
There's a lot of traffic.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic up ahead. It looks like there's a rollover there.
I don't know. Pick a time 3 hours late.
PM? Does that sound right?
Oh, sure. Fine. It's 11 p.m.
Get there like 1 o'clock to be on the conservative side.
That's 2 hours from now.
That's a big accident. There's an oil tanker up ahead, and looks like there was a semi truck full of.
Oh god, everything's on fire now.
All right, whatever it is, it's gonna take you 2 hours. You just be there with the body, okay?
I got it.
Yeah, hangs up.
God, we gotta go back through the checkpoint now.
God damn it! Frag.
Jenen sighs.
That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
Oh man, and there's gonna be ghouls out there too. Like, what if they've already eaten his body? Oh, frag! This is gonna be bad.
This is like a sitcom. We're gonna have to find some other guy's body. Dress it up like this guy.
It's the end of the episode. We all sit there, and one of us just goes, "Son of a."
All right, I guess we're going back through the checkpoint.
Oh, fun. Okay. Sneak our way around.
I mean, likely. So hold on. Let's think for a second. How likely is it that, I mean, Doc Wagon's probably there. What do they do with the bodies that they find? Do they just leave them there if their client is already dead?
No. Yeah, because that's something that would freak most people out. Corpses just kind of lying around.
I mean, it's the CZ. There's lots of corpses, I'm sure, but.
Yeah, but if someone's got a Doc Wagon contract, they're paying for the body to be brought back for like a funeral, assuming that they're not being brought back.
Does anyone have any sort of knowledge of Doc Wagon or?
I have Ares security procedures.
You know, Ares security procedures. That's enough. You operating within here. You're not sure exactly how Doc Wagon does it, but you're pretty certain, based on what you know of Ares procedures, that they're gonna send another team in there with like some sort of air support, probably a T-Bird, with some drone support, and maybe even a couple with some heavier combat. They're gonna go there, and they're going to like ascertain the area, and they're gonna have another follow-up vehicle after that that's gonna have some sort of HQ situation. They're not gonna stick around on that turf though to really take their time. They're gonna show up and they're gonna take whatever it is they can and take it there, and then take it back for autopsy or examination or whatever, along with whatever sensor readings, scanners, images, whatever they can get. This is probably all mostly occurred and has taken place by now, if not already. And they're going to airlift whatever they've got out to whatever nearby Doc Wagon facility they would go to for forensics. So
relay all
if you've got any contacts in Doc Wagon or someone who knows someone, like once they get a look at it, I mean, there's going to be an autopsy sometime soon. There's going to be evidence. They're going to want to know what happened and why their team was shot picking this person up, who's probably not definitely not actually the Doc Wagon person they were supposed to have picked up anyway. right? But
Yeah, I'm gonna
that
relay
might
that.
be an
and then-
easier way of getting to the body than trying to go back into the CZ and get it that way, because it's already going to be in Doc
Yeah.
Wagon's custody at this point.
And basically, I'm gonna say this just elevated to a DEFCON 5 level run, retrieving a body from Doc Wagon. Does anybody know anybody? Can we pull some strings? Skipper already promised that we had the body.
So what's the? What if we just walked away?
Let's move to Detroit. Let's start again. No. Doc Wagon
Is this one of those?
facility responded to that. We could body before they perform a proper autopsy, realize it's not the guy that they thought it was, and incinerate the body as they most likely do. To Taminus or anything like that.
An operation on Doc Wagon in our condition is not a good idea. Especially this high threat response team that is coming in response to a Doc Wagon team that has already been taken out. Like, this is high alert Doc Wagon. And regular Doc Wagon is already someone you don't want to frag with.
Aiden?
Say that again?
Paid.
I don't know.
This is getting paid.
I don't know.
What does everyone else think?
I'm down for whatever, but also down for not caring. I can just go back to Istanbul, Constantinople.
That was specific.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I live.
I don't know how much more help I can be tonight. I'm pretty tired from what happened earlier still.
What about calling the guy back and just apologizing for lying? Like, okay. So about that.
Yeah. There's a way we can do this with minimal bloodshed. I don't want to go in guns blazing to a Doc Wagon facility. That's obviously a terrible idea.
Yeah, you might as well dig yourself a grave and bury yourself.
Right, we can go back in and just see the lay of the land, I suppose, and figure out what to do next.
Difficulty of this before we decide we're going to throw in the towel.
Sure.
Okay.
First things first, let's figure out which Doc Wagon facility responds to that area of the CZ.
Jin.
Right, I guess that would just be some data search stuff, unless you've got contacts you're going to ask and or some other plan.
No, that would just be a electronics test.
Yep, using intuition instead of logic.
Okay.
And this will be an extended test. It'll take you some time, but I mean, we're talking like maybe about a minute or so per test.
6 on the first one.
Wow.
All right, you start finding some information about Doc Wagon and
6 on the
reports about where they come
second?
and go.
Bam!
But after a couple minutes of really digging around and maybe pulling off a few minor hacks here and there, but it's a lot of data collation and that sort of thing, you're able to ascertain that it's almost certain that they would be bringing their remains back to their... they have a Doc Wagon Hospital Crisis and Trauma Center that's actually located in North Chicago, which is like way north of Chicago, actually really close to Waukegan. And it's there that they have like a forensics facility. They do autopsies and that sort of thing. And that's probably where they're going to bring back their own people who have been injured and killed, as well as the corpse of Matador to be examined and checked out and that sort of thing. So that's almost certainly where they're going. Possibly even there by now, traveling by air.
Well, I passed that information along. That is not the best information, but I give it anyway.
Sounds like not a good situation.
They guard the dead bodies that much, though. We're not going after some heavy pay data or.
Well, if it's a matter of an entire Stockwagon squad getting killed, they're probably going to want to know why. They're probably going to investigate that.
That's my thought, is that this body is evidence.
I mean, if no one else is willing to risk it, then we're not going to do it.
I mean,
We convince them to hand over the body. A specialist autopsy team perform a little switcheroo. Wheel the body right on out of there.
If only we had a face rigger.
Yeah, we could. I mean, if
Hey.
idea of Weekend at Bernie's-ing it.
So
Some sunglasses on, a big hat.
So let's act like we're walking through this.
Ballistic
Like,
mask,
let's
'cause
pretend
there's
for a
a hole.
second. So who are we pretending to be?
Yeah, I've got business actioneer business clothes. I could perhaps be D.
Are
Stopping by for a quick tour of facilities.
okay. So you're proposing that we get in for a tour of the facilities and then escape with the body. This is me just asking.
Yeah. That would at least get us into the room with the body. If I'm asking, like, yeah, I heard there was something that went down in the CZ. Can you show me what's going on? I have my top forensic specialist, one of you guys.
Rooster, with your knowledge of Ares security procedures, kind of going along with this, like this being perhaps going into more the security side of things as opposed to the dock wagon side of things. You think maybe it might work a little bit better if you're showing up specifically to take the body. That's more believable than saying I'm here for a tour and then, oh, hey, mind if we take this? Because they're not going to be showing up for a tour at this time of night. They're just it's a corporate guy like that. Like, it's most likely not going to be the case unless you can convince them of like a special surprise inspection or something.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But it might
Yeah.
be very believable to have like a special team show up and say, I want this for this, and you don't get to ask questions if you can pull that off.
Yeah.
That might involve some hacking as well as good talking.
Yeah, the only way I see this going down is if we're a security team or some kind of specialist team that is saying that we need the body to transfer to another area or another department or another location to take care of whatever because of some jurisdiction mumbo jumbo. All right.
Work. Yeah, I can see that. We could be coming in from Indianapolis division. This guy was on the run. Other team. Track him down. Now he's dead, but we need to take him back.
It's possible that we could be. There was an ongoing investigation in the CZ that Lone Star was taking care of, and we're here to claim jurisdiction. I actually know a Lone Star detective that I'm pretty good, decent friends with.
Rooster,
That's a good idea.
If Dock Wagon's anything like Ares and they're like security higher ups or whatever, even like most corp types, they typically don't explain themselves to people they expect to follow their orders.
Right.
Bad grammar, sorry, but I think you know what I mean.
Right. Bottom line is, in a situation like this, as long as we can exude enough confidence and demand what we're demanding, then if they believe us, they'll hand it over, because that's how it works. If we've got we've got the credentials to handle it on the moment, and we've got the chutzpah to pull it off.
Lone Star taking the body back for regards to an investigation.
Yeah.
There will
all that.
absolutely be a moment that they will check some sort of computer thing to find out if this is legit. And that's going to be Jin's moment to make this happen or frag it all up and have you inside a dockwagon facility when they realize you're imposters.
Jin,
I'm on it. I can do this.
you got this. You can
got this.
bring
Oh, yeah.
bring the magic when it matters. All right, we need to look legit. I've got a security uniform here.
See, disguise is actually listed as under 2 different skills under the specialization.
Jesus.
One is con. I think that's more of like when you're trying to impersonate people, though there's a specific separate listing for impersonation. The other one is stealth. I think stealth would more relate to the actual like crafting of disguises, makeup and costumes and outfits and that sort of thing. And con would be pulling it off in the moment, like knowing the right thing to say or deflecting or showing the right persona, etc.
All right. Tanin, can we get you on astral reconnaissance as well, letting us know when?
Of course.
Excellent. Okay. I think we can pull this off.
As long as there's none of those dogs. I'm done with those.
Certainly hope they don't keep hellhounds.
You may have been mistaken or misheard. It's just duck wagon. Duck wagon.
Dog wagon. I want dog wagon now.
It's
So
the
anyway,
veterinary subdivision.
Right.
Next time on Shadowrun.
It's the
I want-
ones who
I
go
kinda
around
want
and
like
pick
a-
up the
Right?
the roadkill.
I want those a group of Shadowrunners now that work as basically like dog catchers, like but awakened dog catchers.
And that's their
They drive around
team
in, like,
name is
in a
Dogwagon.
van with like on the top, you know.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yep.
It also doubles as a food truck,
Oh my
And,
gosh.
Oh no!
but it's obviously not dog. It's totally soy.
This is
No
perfect.
room
This is
here.
a perfect show to do in the vein of the Stuffer Shack show that Damien did. Like it would be.
They have
perfect.
rules though. Like you cannot cook a hellhound in its mother's flame.
Right.
Certain ethics involved here.
I always have in mind they don't actually kill or cook dogs at all. They just also have a food truck where they serve stuff. Like they're just really, really good at making like the soy meat taste really good and like.
I like the Taoist in the chat room suggestion. We
But
spell
like
wagon.
everybody,
Wagon is spelled Waggin.
All right,
But
let's
like-
get this.
Dog wagon.
So before we get too off on a tangent,
We spend the next hour
Yeah.
talking about plans for Dogwagon.
All right. So we need these disguises.
well, I have a suit which works for a detective, I think.
I'm wearing full body armor.
That's pretty impressive, but it doesn't have any insignia or anything on it. Does it have electrochromic plating or coating or anything like that lets you change its appearance on the fly?
Not mine.
No.
Can we strip it down to like just a bulletproof vest and maybe your Ares Predator or Desert Strike or something?
Might work best
back
to. To be there in the body armor actually helps to sell it. It might actually work better if you sort of do things that suggest that insignia are blacked out or covered up, or it's
Yeah, not bad.
So if you plan it that way, that would probably work out better than taking out a crayon and trying to draw a Doc Wagon HTR symbol on the thing or whatever. So they really need. I just got the idea there ought to be there is paper, like AR paper you can use it. It's paper, but it's like a little screen. Different things will show up. They ought to have stickers that can be electrochromic and wireless. You can slap it on, like a sticker on, and then upload the logo you want it to appear.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing that would exist in Shadowrun.
For sure.
do you want me to play the part of the disinterested corp representative that has no time for this, but is on my phone the entire time?
Yeah. What's everybody's role here? What's all of our motivations?
I'm going to be coming in as the detective to take this body because of a case that we're working on.
Right. I'll be your partner. No.
But we're freshly assigned because this guy killed your old partner.
Yeah. So I'll be bad cop, you'll be good cop.
And there from corporate in order to fill out the paperwork.
Yeah.
All right, and what's Nen doing in this?
I think I need to be support in exclusively Astro, because if I walk in with you guys, like, I'm ugly as shit now, so...
They're gonna be like, what Lone Star department would hire this ugly burn face?
Can we interest you in a dock wagon contract?
How does Denan react to this bluntness?
To what?
I'm gonna have Denan make a composure check after that bald response.
Okay.
Bald response? Blatant response by
Yeah,
Rooster.
yeah.
Here, now I'm doing Freudian slips for your character now, and I'm not even there.
What's a composure roll?
Let's see. I think it's willpower plus charisma.
It absolutely is willpower plus charisma.
Let me roll my 6
So
dice.
you're gonna fail it now.
Yeah, 0 hits. Critical glitch. She goes into a coma.
Woo! 3!
Okay,
Nice.
yeah. You were able to,
She
I
goes
guess,
into a coma.
Find the
outwardly display whatever you would care to. So if you want to flip out on him,
You-
that's completely up to you. But you don't necessarily like show anything you don't want. So you keep your composure as he like makes his.
You rolled
comment
enough
about
dice to be able to detect to still have a sense of humor right now.
It's entirely possible he's like trying to back up his like leadership skill thing, his tough love, and it's all part of that act maybe. But
Yeah, Rooster's always kind of had my back with the awkwardness and stuff like that, so I think this is just Rooster's own form of awkwardness. So
Yeah.
I have appreciation for that.
okay, yeah,
So,
you
it's
read
chill.
it fine. There's no mandatory mana bolts coming his way or whatever.
Hey,
Yeah.
Digitally is rating. Brought a rating party of people over. Hey
Oh,
guys,
sweet!
welcome.
Woo!
Playing
Welcome.
Shadowrun.
Thanks, Allison.
Sweet.
Yay!
Yeah, so
Well-
I think in response I'll kind of like almost like lean over and nudge Rooster like playfully, which is touching for Denan, which means a lot. But like as I move away, there's this like liquidy fluid like residue left behind from all my burns that are like,
You've got this like salve all over in different spots.
I stuck a little bit when I moved away.
It's Aloe brand
Yeah.
burn ointment. It's just ALOTM or whatever. It's nothing to do with the product Aloe, but they use a little picture of it in the logo.
All right.
Anyway,
What?
moving
There's
on.
also the option we could bring Denan in with us in order to positively identify the body. The guy who burned me. She wants to stay on astral reconnaissance.
Or the other option too is you could roll me in. I could be a victim that you dock wagon folks are bringing.
I know we changed that plan.
We need her ID if this is the guy that got her too.
Okay.
okay, sounds good. So you're all going in then. Each of you has a certain role that you're playing. I think you pull up to the place and find a parking spot toward the front and start walking on in. The sliding doors open up. It's a 3-story building, though it's kind of surrounded by some sort of sprawling 1-story sections out and around. And you see like there's a landing pad on the top where there's currently a dock wagon, vector thrust vehicle, Banshee currently parked there. Those of you with thermal vision, I'm not sure if that's any of you, can see that the engines still seem pretty warm, but they've been cooling off from recent use.
Remember, our story is that we've had an operation surveilling this area, trying to get our hands on this guy for a while for reasons, and we're here to take this guy jurisdiction. We're claiming jurisdiction on the body for our investigation and ongoing whatever.
For my own personal memory, Matador is a troll, right?
I have to double check the sheet, but I think he was human.
I feel like he was human.
I don't
Okay,
remember
yeah.
saying
It is
he was a
human.
troll.
I have written human likes to ride a bike.
But I just want to make sure I get his description right, roughly.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go strolling in with the crew here.
There's 2 sets of sliding doors that open up. There's a man, kind of a bored-looking man, sitting at it looks like a little bit of a podium type thing up at the front. He looks up. You realize he's the valet for people who need it, and also potentially security as well. And kind of glances you over as you walk in and start to move past. The second door slides open.
Real quick,
And he says,
based on my
what?
security procedures in knowledge and of Ares, would it make sense in this situation for me to be carrying my Desert Strike, or should I leave that in the truck?
it would probably make not good sense.
I
to
didn't
carry
think
the
so,
giant
but
sniper
I
rifle
wanted
with
to
you.
take it if I could.
Well, that's right. It's more of an assault rifle in the new edition.
It's more of an assault
It's an
rifle, not a
assault rifle
sniper rifle.
but
Yeah.
it's still a really big one.
It's
like
big,
this
yeah.
gigantic, big ass.
That's fine. I'll
So,
leave
yeah.
it. I'll leave it.
Yeah, maybe just a sidearm.
Yep. I got a big one.
And I am astrally perceiving. I have astral security as a skill, so I'm like just always covering her.
Okay, astrally perceiving, you don't see any signs of wars yet, and you start to walk past, and the man says, "Hold up a moment. This isn't a public clinic."
Of course not. Would you guys deal with this imbecile, please?
Lone Star PD, we're here to pick up a body. Who do I talk to?
Lone Star, you don't have jurisdiction here. This is Dockwagon property.
We're here.
Action on the body down there in the basement that just came in, probably 3-4 minutes ago.
No, you assholes can frag off.
Wait,
Get
wait.
out of here. I'm gonna call other security.
You can hold on just a second. Excuse me. We've had an ongoing investigation going on with this guy for a long time. You guys came in, picked him up before we could get our people on the scene to take care of things. We got a victim who is looking for retribution. All right, we've been tracking this guy down for a long time, and we're gonna go in there. We're gonna get this body, and we're gonna end the investigation. As far as I can tell, this guy's incidental to you.
And you're just gonna walk in here and take a and take a cadaver out of our morgue? No, I don't think so.
Big problem for you, or you let us through. Out.
I think I'll let corporate sort it out.
Oh, frag.
Good,
Okay,
thank
I
you.
didn't want to have to slow things down. I thought we had a trusting relationship here, but yes, we do have the authority and the jurisdiction to do this. We can pull up the necessary the word I can't think of right now to.
Oh, yeah, sure. So you just come in, throw your weight around some before you throw out the paperwork? I know how this goes. All right, fine. He reaches down like near his gun and takes out his comlink instead and pulls it up. All right, let's see your credentials.
Jin, get hacked.
And starts doing a thing with his comlink.
I've
You might want to
already
make
been.
sure
I've
it
already
displays
been.
what you want it to. Yeah.
Right. So
You've
I've
had
already
some
been
time.
doing this. Right. I said I was kind of playing like I was bored, but
Yeah, yeah.
really I've been on my stuff. So what's this role look like? I'm gonna either hack his comm link to get it to display right, or hack ours to have the correct stuff. What was our plan?
I think you're supposed if you hack his comm link to show things, so that's just one target versus all of our stuff.
All right. Well then, let's do briggity brute hack to just get this done ASAP right now, and do the
There
thing.
is a lore question in here. Is Dockwagon and Lone Star, are they owned by the same company?
They are
I believe
now.
Dockwagon is its own separate thing, wasn't it? Or is this
They
something I
are
missed?
now as a
That's right.
Streetpedia, but that's neither here nor there. Doesn't really matter.
Okay, I missed that entrance, and there still would likely be like a jurisdiction, how should I say?
Yeah,
Dick
this is like
measuring
somebody-
contests.
Yeah.
It's like somebody from GameStop going into Think Geek and going like, "Hey guys, let's do this." It's not. You might be owned by the same people, but it doesn't mean any damn thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so is hacking good? Brute force hack?
So you'll need to gain access to his comm link, and I guess in order to actually change the information that's being displayed there and do some hacking, you will at least need, I think, user access. You could do that with brute force, but he's going to know something's going wrong with his comlink and there's illegal access, and that would probably throw off the whole con. So you might want to actually have taken some time, maybe a minute during this, to do a probe action to follow that up with a backdoor entry. I think that's would still be the same with a comlink here.
With the hacking, this might be a good point to ask the question. Like with the hacking, since we're still like theoretically doing introductions to 6th edition, right?
For sure.
So with brute force, they automatically know that somebody's hacking you, because like that on the face of it just seems really kind of useless.
Yeah, you're kicking down the door and you're gonna hack this place. You're gonna start setting off alarms. ICE is gonna be showing up, and you're gonna have to get in and get out and do your stuff fast.
Right, but like
it doesn't
on this
take any
guy's
prep time.
comlink, you know what I mean? Like.
Let's take a look at the actual action you'll need to do. I think it would be an edit file action to change, I guess, the information he's displaying, or possibly even a spoof. I think spoof would be to edit the information that's coming and going from his comlink. So I think either of those could work. Let me see here. A spoof command doesn't actually... You can actually do with outsider access. An edit command... edit file, you require user access. So I guess you could... If you were just going to spoof like what data is coming and going and kind of take that over, so he's only... Whatever he transmits out only goes... It doesn't only goes where you want, and whatever he gets back is what you want him to see. That does not require you to actually gain user access. That's a spoof command action. So that would actually work out well. If you wanted to go into edit file, where you're actually like editing like what's being displayed on his screen, like within his own comlink, that's where you would need to gain user access by doing a probe or brute force.
Oh, right.
So
yeah,
sorry about the pulling it down here, but it's worth checking it out because new rules and stuff.
I agree, and just for my own edification, like I'm struggling to think of like what that would look like if I was going to do a brute force on somebody's comlink. Like, would it just go like, "Hey, heads up, somebody's trying to hack you," or would it
there would be like,
"Bloop,
you are currently like your antivirus would pop up and say there is currently an attack on your comlink. You wouldn't tell you what files are being messed with or what's going wrong, but you'd be like, "Oh, Drek, maybe I should turn off my comlink. I'm being hacked." Or like if somebody's trying to like put some pressure on you in this situation, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, they're totally full of Drek and this is not legit." So whether or not you succeeded on the brute force would be immaterial because it would give you away. It would be useful when you're going to do a hack on the host and you need to do just a quick and dirty.
You just need to get the information,
get in, get out,
and
a smash and grab.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Smash and grab. That's actually a good metaphor for it. Because like your window's broken and somebody's taking crap off of your comlink, but you can't stop it, but you know it's happening.
Yeah, as opposed to somebody taking some time to watch where you kind of stash your spare set of keys for your car and take the time to learn that. But yeah, let's move on and see how this roll goes here. You doing a spoof command then to intercept the matrix coming in and out of his comlink?
Yes, I am, and I'm gonna go big on this one. The pre-edge exploit, or the pre-edge, I don't know, what am I saying? The edge use that allows you to add your edge to it is
4 points.
Okay.
Yep, it allows you to add your edge attributes to your test.
Load.
Yes. So it's basically just like the old school pre-edge.
So we're gonna do that.
This is a logic-based test, so the spoof command is going to be cracking plus logic.
And then also I'm going to use overclock, which adds 2 dice to this matrix action, and one of them is a wild die. We don't do the wild die enough, so
my.
Yeah.
Throw that in there.
How does the wild die work?
I don't know. We're gonna see here in a second.
There's not enough wild die in core.
I think the wild die is on a 1, then like takes away successes. and then on a 6 or a 5, like it adds even more or something like that.
So you get like 3 successes if that one's a 6, but on a 1 it makes it worse.
So this is 18 normal dice and a wild die.
Wow. I expect 10 hits.
8 successes, and I got.
Oh my gosh.
2. I got 2. I need to reroll again.
Your 6s explode.
Okay, so just 8 total, and then I need to roll my wild die.
Holy.
And it's a 6. I don't know what that does. So somebody tell me what.
According to
Man.
Austin, you get 3. Do you get 3 extra? You said.
So I want to double check that. You get it's more than 1 success.
It counts as 3 hits if you get a hit on the wild die.
That's 11 hits.
If you roll a 1 on the wild die, then every 5 that you came up, it doesn't. It basically makes it so that 6s count as hits instead of 5s and 6s. So
Oh
a 1
my
would
gosh.
make a lot of your hits potentially go away. But instead, it made it like what 11 or something.
It's 11 hits.
Yeah.
You've got full control of it. You can basically like says he's querying for information about you, and you can respond back with like corporate authorization, blah blah blah. Let him on through. Don't ask any questions. Whatever you want it to say, like on his comlink to back up the con. What are you telling him? Responding with?
So because I'm traipsing around in his comlink, and it's just doors are opening up for me like nothing. I'm putting in there.
You're not actually entering his comlink at all. You're controlling what's going in and coming out.
Right. And I realized it was. Thought it was, is what I'm getting at.
It's like when you jack into the Matrix, right? Your technology, the assist technology, replaces your own senses with the Matrix. You're replacing his comlink's connection to the Matrix with your own Matrix.
And so what he sees is essentially that we are from Lone Star, and essentially I'm a big, huge, high up guy. Like I'm like the president of Lone Star in Chicago, and like there's big warnings that say like watch out for this badass guy. He's been known to kill people and get away with it. And like, and also make sure you compliment him or he'll get you fired. And oh my God, make sure to be on the lookout for what's my name? For Staniel Ray, the president of Lone Star Chicago, because he eats people for breakfast and
Literally.
yeah. And he'll kill you in your sleep, or you'll just disappear, and then Lone Star will blame you for something after your death, and then your family will grieve. And like, geez, yeah, let's start. But yeah, all that goes in there. But essentially, we are who we say we are.
All right, so he looks that over and he gets that information. Now, Austin, give me an influence test or a contest to have this go the way you want to go.
Would you like me to assist?
Oh, actually,
since
you
I'm
and
yelling?
Rooster are teaming up, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
I'll
you figure out which one of you is doing the main test.
I was letting him take charge, and I was just coming in playing bad cop, so I would prefer to. I think I would be assisting. I'll do an assist roll.
Okay, so make your roll to assist then with your social skill, whichever it may be. Teamwork tests work basically the same in this edition, which is the person who's helping makes it roll first, and however many hits they get, those are extra dice for the person making the main test, and that's limited. Still limited by the ranks they have in that skill, I believe.
I got 3 hits.
That's going to put me at 15 dice.
How many?
I got 5 hits.
Nice. That's a pretty good roll on 13 dice.
All right, I think on the edge factor, I mean, normally somebody hacking a comlink for this might be a situation that might give you edge, but I think it's just making it possible. So we're going to have it be even up as far as edge goes, unless you've got something that would add in, like, first impression or whatever. But
And
I do have first impression, actually.
oh, so you get your 2 edge for that.
There. And And let me check my rolls. Succeed. I'm just gonna hang on to that edge.
So what's the sort of the final thing you're saying then to get through?
Way above your pay grade. You're here entering the door. You're here watching the doorway. You're not gonna get in shit. Let the lawyers handle it.
He looks kind of up at you, looks down at his comm link, and which is probably unnecessary because he's got some AR like in his field of vision as well. So pause this for a moment, just as you're right. I hate these jurisdictional kerfuffles we keep having with this. I'm sure we'll get it all sorted out. Sorry about the mix-up, and your suit is looking really snazzy there, sir. And I'd say that body armor is some of the best I've ever seen. Quite effective in the field, I'm sure.
It sure is. Hey, no hard feelings. You know, we're figuring it out too. I apologize.
You look really good scars, ma'am.
Thanks. I've tried really
he
hard.
was just
on these
turning
scars.
and talking to Danen when he said that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
Looks
Rooster
over at-
thanked him anyway because he assumed he was talking about his scars.
It looks at Opti and says, "Yeah, I'm sure you're nice to some people."
I ignore him completely.
All right, let's go.
We need to get to the morgue now.
Which
Can you
one?
point us to someone who can?
Wherever this body is being kept.
Human. I'm gonna give a brief description of Matador. I don't know, short black hair. I don't know what he actually had.
Listen, I don't have all the details. I know a number of bodies were brought in. Quite a few of them were dock wagon personnel. That's why everyone's in such a... We lost a number of people today.
Yeah.
Good people, and they've got someone along with another body. Is that the one? They're going to want to do an autopsy for it, but I guess with the merger...
We've got it
This
from
is
here.
gonna-
Yeah.
Well, Officer Anders is on his way. He normally doesn't work at this time of day, but they're calling him in. So I think you might want to stay to check in with him, or he will want you to have done that. But I suppose I
I've
will
spoken
leave.
with
that
Officer
to
Anders.
choice. Oh, you have? Then okay.
Picking this up for him, we're going to take it back to his head office.
He pulls up. He does this like gesture as if it's sort of this universal like, would you like to accept this data? I'm about to send you an AR, and pulls
like
up
this.
a little data thing, and it pulls up little AR directions for how to get around in the facility. If you click on it, it gives you a little waypoint that's customized to however you've got your image link dialed in. But you've got instructions on how to get to where you need to go in the building.
All right. Code, key card to get down to the morgue.
No, that's all right. It's cleared for you in the system.
Walk past him. The morgue.
Okay. Jin, you realize that anything he's been like doing and transmitting, you've been spoofing, right? So whatever code that he might have sent in ahead to say like, "Hey, let these guys through, open the doors and direct," he thinks he's done it, but it only went to you.
Well,
So
then I
just
will...
you might have to fast talk more people going through and deal with that.
Can I pass it along somehow? Same kind of spoof.
You could share that information over comms with the people, but as far as like, that might require spoofing more things or conning more people.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Well, since I'm not going to con anybody, I feel like I'm probably better off just sending that spoofed message.
Okay, so wherever there was recently like a banging sound, on whoever's end that's happening, that's wherever this noise is coming from. Because
Okay, I think that's
that
mine.
was
I thought I
pretty
had
prominent.
my mic shut off there
Yeah, there was kind of a loud.
outside my door. A break.
Okay, fair enough. I just know we were trying to figure like where this was coming from, and I
It's
figured
the
that might help
fuzz.
isolate it.
Open up! We know you've got the drugs in there.
Okay, so you're able to move on through. You get to the door. The door doesn't open, but there's somebody on the other side. I guess Austin, Skipper, give me a con roll to just sort of, wave or something to get them to let you through.
Bad. Okay, roll. Health, only I'm going to spend some of my edge that I've built up here. Let's see. Die roll, so I'm going to spend edge to do the 2-point edge boost twice to add +1 to a single die roll to turn 2 of my 4s into 5s. So that'll get me 4 hits.
Okay, the person just kind of nods and something beeps and the door opens. Excuse me, what are you doing here? And you start to walk on through. Hello?
Yes, we're here to claim a body. Maybe a few minutes ago.
A lot of bodies came in, but all right then. Do you know where you're going?
I've got a rough idea. Right,
Take
so
the
are we in the
elevator around the
morgue?
corner. Yeah, you're from never mind. They're sort of looking over like not quite sure if you belong there and trying to decide if it's something they should start thinking about or being curious about, but haven't actually gotten around to being curious about it yet. You have a authorization codes or a key card of your own, right? I don't recognize many of you.
We just spoke to, what was the guy's name? Did we get the guy's name up at the...
No.
We just spoke to, what's his name, up at the front. We just gave him the whole spiel. I really don't want to have to give the whole spiel again. We're kind of in a hurry. You see this guy here? Stanley, what was your name?
Staniel Ray.
Staniel Ray, excuse me.
I'm starting to hack now.
Okay, I don't want the spiel either. I'll hit the button for you, right? It's
Thank you,
obviously
okay.
above my pay grade. Comes over and hits the button for the elevator, taps in a code. And, all right, it's going up to the 3rd story. They brought all the bodies in there. They were waiting for Anders to come in to do the autopsies, so...
Right. Thank you.
There's not many of the personnel in stock. There's not many of the personnel currently here. A lot of them are still in the process of arriving and being called in, so you'll have to find your own way around.
That's fine. I really appreciate you helping us out here, giving us a little bit less guff than we've gotten already.
I'd appreciate you leaving me out of the paperwork.
No problem. No, I just
I've got
keep
rooms
going.
to clean.
Yeah, I just keep going.
I don't look at anybody. I don't say anything. I just keep talking to my, like I'm doing something important.
All right, you take the elevator. It looks like you're following the directions. If you're bringing anything up in your image link and AR to follow your waypoint.
Mr. J, would this be entering into the elevator with this break?
Not quite. We're almost to a point where I want to do a break. But,
Okay, cool.
You move on through. There's very few other personnel here. You sort of kind of push and bluster your way through. Find actually where Matador's corpse is sort of sealed and zipped up, and make your way out with them. As you're leaving, there are some other people approaching and heading up, but you able to sort of flash your credentials or do a similar con roll. We'll skip the dice rolling because I want to get through this part. But
Sure.
I don't want to spend any more time on you getting the body in the thing. So it's a GM technique of hitting the fast forward button. Assuming your dice rolls have more or less gone as they have. We'll go more or less as they have done, and you're back out to your vehicle, and you've got this Matador's corpse loaded up, and you're about 5 minutes drive away from the truck stop with the giant cow in Waukegan.
Skipper. This
let's
can't believe you talked me into doing this.
Hey, we might at least get part of our payday out of this.
Yeah.
And what are we doing for a break amount of time? Just
let's do a short one.
Hour or 5 minutes?
Yeah, let's take a half-hour break. That's what I thought you said. No, let's do a 5-minute break. Yeah, let's do a 5-minute break. I think that'll be fine. Anybody who
Alright.
hasn't already, while we're on break, should definitely check out the link that I'm sure Sarah's going to drop into the chat here in a minute for the Rem Alternis
Yes, I am.
Kickstarter that's launching tomorrow.
Wow, tomorrow already. I know you've been like counting it down, but it still seems like it's all of a sudden.
Yeah, the past year now feels like all of a sudden. I can't believe it's all here. Like we're ready. There's a couple minor tweaks going in tonight into tomorrow morning, but noon tomorrow, Eastern time, we launch, and yeah, it's out of my hands. So please help support and share and back and talk
Yeah,
about
absolutely.
it.
And for those who are just showing up now and didn't hear the spiel before, just very briefly, the high points that I'll just let you know is, so definitely you should check it out because it's right up our alley, and we want to see it made because it's exactly the kind of thing that we get excited about. So check it out. It's the preview. The Kickstarter launches tomorrow, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. So stick around. Tell your friends that we're having fun playing Shadowrun 6th edition, and yeah, that's fun. All right, be right back. Hey everybody, we're back from the break. We are doing Shadowrun here for anybody who showed up and is just joining us. Shadowrun 6th edition, and it's sort of a somewhat exclusive look at it in a live setting, where we get to talk about the breaks or talk about the rules and what our experience is with the new rule set that's not going to be in your hands until for another month. The quick start rules are out now. People are getting that, and I think was it today or yesterday? Sometime very, very soon, recently, the PDF of the quick start rules is available, isn't it?
I've heard that same thing.
Yep. And but we are playing with the full core rule set, which is not available quite yet. This is our second to last, our penultimate episode of.
Hey, I put something in chat earlier. I wanted to clear. I said that I wrote the quick start rules in that box set, which is true, but I did not actually write those rules. I was just copying what I was given and putting it into a form that was.
You wrote the words.
Palatable. Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
I formed it. I birthed it, but it was not my egg.
You were merely the surrogate.
Opti, you made it worse. It's way worse now than it was before.
It suckled off of my sustenance for a while.
Yeah. I'm not gonna carry on the metaphor like I really want to right now.
Having said that, I also did have something to do with the core rules, but not enough that I think I want to own it, because it really wasn't. But that would make me that would make me a donor as well.
Right.
Yeah, a donor. I like it. I donated, but I didn't really have anything to do with it after I donated.
You're a deadbeat dad.
This metaphor holds up surprisingly. No.
So reckless abandonment is what you're saying.
It was like they went to a bank of good ideas and drew from it at random, and then used that to form.
This is the inside look on how RPGs are made. But yeah, anyway, we are in the middle of. We have just taken the Matador's body, the guy that we needed to find, and we failed to get alive. So now we're trying to body snatch, and we did. We're not trying. We succeeded, and we're about to deliver it. Right? Isn't that right, Skipper? Just nodding.
That's right. Sorry, I'm doing button a long ways around push to talk, because now they've started using a drill outside. They're changing the voltometer. For reference, it is 8 p.m. here.
Wow. They drill late there in where you are. All right. Okay. So let's get to it.
Well, a little after midnight, you've got your corpse of Matador, which you were pretty directly familiar with. Some of you, so you
corpse of the incidentally, corpse of the Matador is going to be my first metalcore album.
Sex tape.
Yeah.
Oh.
What is wrong with you
Sex tape.
tonight?
Yes, absolutely. That's going to be the title of my sex tape. Corpse of the Matador. Somebody please clip that on Twitch. All right. Please. All right. Continue.
All right. Well, you've got the thing that you were trying to get right out of Doc Wagon's clutches. Sure would have been nice if you just called the Johnson when you were down there and found that you were supposed to bring it with you in the first place. But you've got it now, along with some Doc Wagon loot with
live and
fancy
learn.
labels on it. So it's actually just a little bit after midnight, and you told Big Dave that it would take you till 1 a.m. to get there, but you could get there way earlier if you wanted to. Unless you wanted to hang out with this body for a while.
Let's show up early. We can wait.
Right, this is one of those truck stops that has a lots of different bays for semis to like come in and like dock for recharging or for refueling, depending on what source they use. It's got basically like an oversized convenience store, basically like an oversized stuffer shack, but it's not like a stuffer shack brand. It's some sort of, I'm not sure what company this is. The actual building itself has a really, really giant cow statue that is even bigger in AR. And on the other side, there's room for parking and fueling for more normal-sized vehicles and places for them to dock and stay and recharge. There's a coffin motel here in the middle, some facilities for like truckers to go take showers and stuff, because yeah, they still have truckers, even though there's automated vehicles as well. And there's also basically a diner-style restaurant.
We've been here before, haven't we? Got cocktails and meaty omelets, right?
I say, anyone?
Actually, this might. I don't think we pointed out the location of that, but yeah, let's just make this the same place. Might as well.
I point at the restaurant and I go, "Do we have time to stop for some barbecue?" And I gesture at my face.
Wow,
that's some growth right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying real hard, guys. I'm laughing so I don't cry.
I'm proud.
I'm gonna get you a new face.
Do they have a store for those?
we can get you a rigged face.
We got a face rigger.
Alright, so you show up there. Are you just gonna like park and wait, or are you gonna give Big Dave a call, or do something else? What are you doing here?
Wait, I'm gonna make sure that Matador's body is appropriately covered in the back. So if anyone's like peeking around for stuff, they're not gonna see a dead guy in the back of Dom.
Yeah, I'm gonna astral around.
Alright, peeking around in astral space, there's not too much going on here. Most of the people who are here at this point are in the process of traveling from one place to another and not stopping to hang out. There's fewer like families traveling, that sort of thing. It's more business people and professional drivers, truckers, that sort of thing. So it's fairly sparse. As you zip around and take a look at things.
Okay,
I guess
then.
give me a perception test.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Oh wait, should I?
By the way, did we have any time to rest on the drive or anything?
You'd had about an hour's worth of rest if you wanted to make a roll to get some.
It's a
stun
body
back.
roll, right?
Body plus willpower.
Okay.
Physical damage, yeah, not enough time.
All right, body plus willpower. I'll do that first, and then I'll do my perception if that's. Oh boy, one whole box with my power rolling.
It's better than the zeros and glitches you've been doing.
Shut up, Rooster.
What?
And then my perception is, I still have one negative for that. I've got 9 dice. 4 hits. Hooray!
Nice.
All right, so you're just sort of looking around, surveying the scene. There's a trio of people. Like, you may not know their auras necessarily, but they kind of look like they might be Big Dave and his bodyguards, Lola and Bebop. They're currently sitting in the diner area. Looks like they're eating food, and they got kind of this agitated vibe about them, especially coming off of Big Dave, like someone really anxious and nervous. But do you have the astral skill? Would you like to sense them?
I would. And I have a +3 to astral signatures because of my specialization and something
None of
else.
these are magicians, so we're not talking about astral signatures here. You're just sort of observing them to see
Okay.
who they might be or what they're like.
Sure. Okay.
So I think it's astral plus intuition for this
Yep.
test.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get 9.
I know what mood they're in, so I know how to approach.
3 hits.
3 hits. Yeah, 2 of them are pretty heavily cybered. The third one actually has a decent chunk of subtle cyberware. You can tell this by like the kind of grayish dead spots in their aura that represent technology that doesn't show up very well in astral space versus the more vibrant parts of their body that are, their actual flesh. And you think, like, one of them is almost certainly a troll. Seems pretty calm. You think this is Lola. The other one's an orc, also pretty cybered. Bebop, you're pretty sure that's him. And then the anxious one, you're almost certain is Big Dave. You don't sense any sort of like astral signatures on them or any weird magical traps or stuff. It looks like they're there already. They're at the diner. They're probably waiting for you guys to eventually show up. And Big Dave is probably nervous as all hell, and his bodyguard people are just kind of hanging out,
Okay.
waiting to do their thing, not showing
They're
much
pretty-
emotion.
Pretty standard then. All right. I'll zip on back to my body and say we're clear. Very official.
Do you let them know that Big Dave and his bodyguards are in the diner?
I mean, like we're here to meet them, so yeah. They're in there, guys. We're good. No surprises that I could.
Good.
Very, very good. For those paying attention at home, that was the most original thing I could think of at that moment to say.
On point.
Should move on up and
To the east side.
all right.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so you're just all getting out of the vehicle then and going into the diner. You go walking into the place, and it says there's a little sign that also says an AR, please seat yourself. And you find yourself walking over to the corner where, I guess past this perpetual buffet that none of the food looks like it's been laid out within the last 24 hours. And moving on past to see, looks like as you move towards there in one of the corner spots, Bebop, who sees you, raises one of his cybered arms in greeting and waves you over. And you see Big Dave there and Lola. Big Dave turns around and like stands up kind of abruptly. His general stance, he seems nervous and agitated. And now he seems a bit relieved as he sees you. Oh, you made it.
Yeah, sorry about the hold up there, but got the package with us. Didn't know where else to put it.
With you, like
Not literally with us. Come on.
Like with the truck.
like out.
Yeah.
All right. He glances over at Lola and says, Lola, pay the bill. And she nods and does a thing in AR and pays the bill. And they get up. Bebop sort of slides his bulk over and stands up. He's a big troll, almost as big as Lola. No, sorry, Bebop is a big orc, almost as big as Lola, who is a troll. She's more the kind of lean but really muscular, like strong-looking type. Totally hairless as far as you can see, and her horns have been filed down to her scalp. And she's got some cool-looking cyber legs.
Hi, Lola.
She looks up and kind of gives you it's kind of a curt nod and smile. And, Big Dave kind of heads in that general direction, but I guess gestures as if someone's supposed to lead the way to wherever he's supposed to go. All right, come on.
Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna lead him back to Dom.
All right, so you go walking around to the truck, and I guess this is all right. It's in there. Let's have our car pulled around, and they tell their autopilot. One of them tells the autopilot of their car to pull around, and there's a sort of a nice but fairly nondescript Ford America pulls up nearby, parks in the spot next to it. Someone else pulls up in a looks like a Jeep of some kind with a number of different teenagers sort of like just piled into it, way more than is normally safe, and it's blasting music that suddenly cuts out as they get out, and some of them just kind of start giggling and talking and with each other and go into the place, but it looks like a couple of them are hanging around just outside of the Jeep, like right next to your vehicle.
What the? Yeah, move along, hooligans.
It's a couple, looks like teenagers, a boy and a girl, human. One of them has just lit up a cigarette.
I'm checking the astral again just to be safe.
So roll your influence for intimidation.
Is that intimidating, calling kids hooligans? 3. I got 3 hits.
They like get up and sort of move around, give you a wide berth, and head into the place. They're like, whatever, creepy old man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the guy that was the girl. The guy is just sort of like, it's like, quiet, shush, he'll attack us. He's an orc.
It's true. And quit smoking.
They get what they assume is kind of a safe distance and then duck inside. Big Dave just sort of shakes his head. All right, so
Big Dave, there's something you need to know.
what do I need to know? I think I've pretty much been told that this is just a big fragging mess, and you just
Whoever took this guy out, they were legit professionals. Okay, they didn't just take this guy out; they took an entire squad of Dockwagon out as well. Dockwagon that were sent into the CZ. They don't just send the chumps into the CZ. Okay, even the Dockwagon chumps are not easy to take out.
why was Dockwagon going into the CZ? Into Fleshmonger?
We had a plan. It involved Dockwagon. Don't worry about that part. They got involved.
No, you did a Dockwagon plan.
Yeah, you know the Dockwagon gambit. You know, classic. It usually works.
Not a best moment, but you do what you gotta do.
Only it didn't, and somebody intercepted your Dockwagon.
Nobody knew that Dockwagon killers were after this guy as well. I'm trying to do you a solid here, letting you know that whoever's after this guy.
Oh, wait. You may have misunderstood. We didn't say Dockwagon. We said Dogwagon, which is a totally different thing, and there was hellhounds involved in this.
The point is, whoever took this guy out, they knew what they were doing. These guys are not amateurs, and I wanted you to know that.
Well, gee, thank you for that. The point is, as far as I'm concerned, is that I hired you to bring back a live matador, and you apparently, hopefully, even if you have that, just have this guy's dead body. Because someone else beat you to the punch, right? Is that the gist of it?
Yeah.
Exactly what happened. There were no further complications.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take this body off your hands. We're going to stick it in the trunk here. We're going to drive off. I'm going to take it to the Johnson. Hopefully it has whatever he wants in their hidden compartments or up the butt or whatever the frag it is. And we can all get paid.
Hopefully, you're right.
So let's see it.
Fortunately, we had enough foresight to bring the body with us and not just leave it there.
Absolutely. We're professionals.
Fantastic.
All right, I'm going to pop open the back of the truck and You can see the bloody, mangled face.
He looks in and he sort of nods to Lola and Bebop, who popped the trunk of the Ford Americar, who's right next door. You can see like some of the kids have like started to come back out, and then like two of the other ones are like the other ones kind of wave them back into the place, and they all kind of go in and get a seat at the diner. You probably gotta wait until you guys leave. But basically, yeah, Lola and Bebop are blocking sight lines, and Big Dave says, "All right, go ahead, toss them in the trunk."
All right.
All right, and I would toss them in the trunk. We close that. Looks like they're about to get going here, but I would like you to all make a judge intentions roll, each on your own, with a threshold of, we'll say, 4.
Just so for those who don't know, judge intentions is willpower plus intuition.
Yep. Roll that many dice and add up your hits. There's no edge involved in this calculation here, so.
Big ol' egg from me.
Oh!
Yeah, everyone else take that.
What'd you get?
I got a 3.
Me and Austin got 0s, so.
Okay, then I would like you to all make a surprise test, as it looks like Big Dave and Bebop and Lola are drawing down on you, and we're entering combat. Follow that up with an initiative roll.
Drac.
And they just sort of like turn, and like Big Dave draws his Ares Viper sliver gun.
Big
Bebop
Dave.
kind of turns and pops a spur out of his left hand, and his right hand, like, he sort of flexes it, and out of his
Goddamn
forearm,
Big
this holster pops open, and there's a fragging Ruger Super Warhawk in there. It pops forward and is like in a slide, and he catches it, and he's got his gun. And Lola, let's see, what has she got for weapons here? Oh yeah, she reaches into her pocket and pops something out, drops something small, but it starts whirling through the air. Some of you've probably all seen a mono whip in action, at least on the Trid.
We're gonna die.
Lola, I thought we had something
Okay.
special.
Sorry, what am I rolling against? Surprise and initiative?
Yeah, and surprise tests, you roll reaction plus intuition, and you want to get 3 hits.
I rolled the wrong
If
thing.
you fail to get 3 hits, you basically don't get to go on the first turn because you're surprised. And that will be very bad for you.
Combat
All right.
paralysis, so I was
Ouch.
never going to go first.
So initiative is 11, and then what was the surprise?
Surprise is reaction plus intuition.
I got a 1 on my surprise check.
Two.
And
I
9
Pretty
on
sure-
initiative.
got
Pretty
a
sure 3 is the magic number on
I got a
surprise
3
tests.
on surprise, and my initiative was 15.
All right, I just want
What's-
to take an
what's
extra
the,
moment to make sure I'm doing this right with surprise, because
What is
How
the
does
edge? How much edge does it cost to reroll misses, or can you not do that?
it's 1 edge per die or 4 to roll the bunch.
I don't.
Yes,
think
it
I
does
have
work
4.
just the same. Anybody who fails, it's reaction plus intuition, threshold of 3. Anybody who fails the test does not get to spend edge or act in the first combat round. You still get to roll to defend and to soak damage, but you can't take actions of your own.
Well, it's been a nice 7-episode series with you guys.
So.
All right, so as far as initiative goes, I think only Rooster was not surprised, right?
Finally.
We have, I guess, Danen is on 11. What did everyone else have for initiative? I think Skipper's last.
9, but combat paralysis divides that in half. So I got a 4.
Wow.
Okay, you're really choppy there, but I was able to understand you. And then what about our Decker Jim?
I rolled a 1 on the surprise test and a 12
What's
on
your
my initiative.
though? Okay. And then Rooster, what's your initiative?
15.
Okay, it looks like Lola and Bebop are going first. I think Lola is going to go ahead and target. She'll target the mage. She'll geek the mage. So, but sort of like whips her mono whip around in almost invisible lasso-like motion that's designed to sort of go over your head and pull and tighten. Go ahead and give me a defense test, a melee defense test.
Lola.
What is your defense rating? Body plus armor thing.
Body plus armor is...
What'd you say?
4.
4? Yeah, she's definitely getting an edge for that.
Opti. All
Let's
right,
kill
so
him, dude.
reaction to the situation. Can't wait to see you at Gen Con. I'm gonna make that all the time.
All right, I rolled my dice. Go ahead and make your defense test. What'd you get?
1.
One?
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, it's hard to dodge something you can barely see. It's definitely coming down at
-1
you.
head.
Any sort of edge stuff to back it up? Or are we on to the body roll?
Say that again.
The head
Sorry.
roll.
Any sort of edge thing you're going to do on this, or are we
I
moving on to
spent
the
it all
body roll
earlier.
to soak damage? All right, so
Move on
body
to the body.
dice only to soak damage. This is going to hurt.
Ooh.
I have a body of 2, guys. Denen's just had a really bad night.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to rest. I'm going into this with a physical 6 damage on my physical.
Hey,
check.
I had 2 body and I got 2 hits. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Wow. That's as good as you can get.
I really wish I could pre-edge.
Okay, well, that means you only take 7 points of damage as the mono whip sort of like spins around you and pulls and tightens and lacerates, and you just, your face is sliced up, blood everywhere. It
Ugh.
hurts like hell, but you're still alive. You didn't get caught and like your head chopped off. So that's a plus, right? Silver lining, you're still alive. You can still feel pain.
Well, you said 7 boxes?
Yeah.
I already had 2, so I'm down.
Okay. Well, you're not decapitated, but yeah, I guess you go down.
Silver
There's all
lining.
that blood, and Bebop says, "Jesus, Lola, we can just." Never mind. So messy. And he turns over to the team and like steps up to Rooster and says, "We'll try it this way first." And like he like swings his left hand that has the spur on it at you and starts going for your face, Austin. So you may make a defense test to attempt to dodge or not get killed.
For me,
I guess dodge is a separate thing that takes a minor action. You can't do that, but you can do reaction plus intuition to try to not get hit. Oh, and what's your defense rating?
defense rating is 5.
Okay, no edge either way on that one. What'd you get?
Well, it's 3 hits.
With 3 hits, you're kind of moving back out of the way, out of his reach, and you realize that his hand is sparking a bit. He wasn't actually trying to stab you with the spur, but trying to like smack you in the face with his like electrically reinforced hand. So like a shock hand thing. He was trying to tase you in the face, but you stepped out of the way.
Who tases people in the face?
Bebop was about to tase Skipper in the face, but he
Taser
didn't.
face?
'Cause-
Taser face!
All right, so yeah, with that, we get down to 16 still. Big Dave, and he turns over to Rooster and raises his.
He better
his viper.
apologize, is what he better do, because
He just sort of like shrugs as if in apology, and then
What
fires off a silenced flechette burst at you. So make a defense test.
All right, I'm gonna.
What's your defense rating at this? It's body plus armor bonuses.
That would be 12. No, I probably don't have the helmet on. Let's be honest, 10.
I mean, you could very reasonably have the helmet on, I guess, but
Fine, I'll take it then. 12.
I mean, either way, it's not enough to get you an edge, but
Okay.
it's close. But all right, I guess no edge involved. Then just make your defense test.
I'm gonna dodge. And is this a block? Can I block? Block is for
cannot
melee,
block
right?
this. Yeah, you can dodge and block melee, but you can only dodge these attacks. So yeah, since you're not surprised, you got this pool of minor actions to spend. You can
Right.
boost your defense. Spends a minor action to add your athletics
Yeah.
ranks adds your athletics ranks to your dice pool for your defense test.
So reaction is 5, intuition is 4, so that's 9 plus athletics of 4. That gives me 13 dice to defend with. All right, let's see how it goes. 4 hit. Don't say anything yet. 4 hits. Let's do 4 hits.
Okay, flechettes go bouncing and spraying and ricocheting in random directions just past you off of the back of the teenager's Jeep as you jump out of the way of the gun spray.
Yeah, you just made your last mistake, Big Dave.
Now it's your turn. Big Dave, that's not what he was expecting. He was expecting to shoot you, but you moved.
Yeah, well, there's not much else I can do but ready my Ares Predator 6, which I do have in a quick draw holster. What? Oh, I don't know what a quick draw holster does. Let's look it up. I used to know.
I think readying a weapon takes a major action, but if you have a quick draw holster, you get a minor back, and then that kind of gives, adding to your other minor actions, gives you a chance to buy back that major action, maybe?
Well, a quick draw is a minor action, yeah. So what is the question is, what does the quick draw holster do?
Oh, you could do a quick draw action, I think, but you have to succeed on that, and then, follow it up with a major action attack.
Oh, so quick draw. The character may quick draw a pistol or a pistol-sized weapon or small throwing weapon and immediately attack with this minor action. The attack action must be used in conjunction with the action, and they must have the appropriate gear, augmentation, or quality to be allowed to use this action.
Okay, sounds like you're appropriately equipped, so you do a minor action to quick draw, and then you can shoot with a major action.
That's cool. I like that. I like that there's no roll. It makes it simple.
There might be a roll. I just don't feel like looking it up any further.
Well, I'm looking at the quick draw action itself, and it doesn't say there's a roll associated with it. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I like that. I like that it's tied
to... It's almost
to...
always an automatic thing anyway. You could probably buy hits.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to quick draw with one of my minor actions. I have a total of 4 minor actions. So I'm going to quick draw. I'm going to aim.
With the quick draw, you have to immediately follow that up with attacking.
Oh, so I don't get to do anything else. Okay.
Right.
Got it. So
quick draw.
Shabam! So
they call it a hip shot.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that.
Somebody does at least.
Burst fire mode. Can I? Yeah, burst fire.
Yep.
All right, so burst fire with Ares Predator 6.
Do you have a silencer on this thing?
No, but I have a laser sight.
Okay. And an integral smart gun link.
Yep.
Ares Predator 6, now with burst fire.
All right. Eat it, Big Dave. So my attack...
But it's really loud in the parking lot now, all of a sudden.
Yeah, well...
Everything else was a more quiet attack.
He started it. So my attack rating is probably going to look like it's about around 10. Do I need to calculate it, or is that not going to do it for me?
He's gonna get an edge, actually. No, you're attacking Big Dave, not Bebop. Never
Big
mind.
Dave, yeah.
The 10, no edge either way.
Okay.
Actually, a little bit above him, but not enough.
All right, so I will do the burst fire. The burst fire gives me extra attack value, but I'm looking at dice right now. So my dice are firearms. Would be 13 plus 1 for the smart link, so 14 dice is what I'm rolling. Oh, minus 2 for being damaged, that's 12.
All right, and Big Dave's sort of leaping out of the way and goes, "Ah!" as if he's surprised to suddenly be getting shot at back or something.
You did this to yourself. So I got 5 hits, but I'm gonna use 1 edge to just re-roll 1, 'cause why not? I got a hit on it, so that's 6 hits.
Well, he got 6 hits on his boost.
Oh, thank goodness.
His dodge boosted defense test, but in 5th edition that would mean that you missed, but in 6th edition that means you hit for base damage.
Yeah.
So what's the damage?
3 physical, and then burst fire gives me some extra. And
2 more.
2 more, so that's 5 physical.
All right, you spray him with bullets for he ends up soaking a little bit, but not much.
And with my free action,
he grunts with pain.
With my free action, I say, "That's what you meant to do." Like implying that's what you meant to do to me. Here's how it's done.
All right, then I guess everybody else was like surprised and like, yeah, all of a sudden, oh, it looks like you're suddenly under attack by the people you were totally not expecting to get attacked by. But now you can act on your initiative. However, unfortunately, Lola and Bebop go first.
Can I go ahead and use an edge? I'm gonna use an edge.
It's a new turn, so yes.
I'm gonna use an edge to add 3 to my initiative score.
That will mean you go after Lola and Bebop, but before Big Dave.
Then I'll do it twice.
That won't help you.
Oh, then never mind.
You need a lot more to get above. They're on 25.
What the? Okay, never mind then. I do want to go before Big Dave though, so just the 1 is fine.
Okay, so yeah, I guess Lola is gonna step up and start apparently like flicking blood in your direction, but there's also like little silvery reflections that suggest maybe there's a mono whip coming with that blood.
I mean,
so
I saw what happened to Danan.
Yeah,
So.
it's pretty nasty. You don't want to be in that, but there's the troll who does want you to be in that. So let's see. With attack rating here, I've got a 14. What's your defense rating?
I've got a 12.
Okay, so no edge. Ooh, and lots of hits.
Oh god. So can I block this one?
See, you have. Yes, this is a melee, so you can do like a parry, like maybe stick your forearm up and with this decent armor or something, or I don't know what you have to parry with, I guess, but that would make sense. Kind of trying to use your body armor to deflect the attacks,
Yeah.
as well as trying to not be hit by it as much as you can.
Well, so I'll dodge and block. I forgot what the block action does for me.
Close combat ranks get
Right,
added is to your dice pool.
All right, so my reaction is 5, intuition is 4, that's 9, like we did before. Adding my athletics gave me 13, and then close combat of 3 gives me a 16. I'm rolling 16 dice. We'll just go with the 16. We'll see if I die.
Good luck. You'll need a statistically good roll to still get out of this.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Oh, mother. I got a 1.
One?
Hold on. No, I already spent edge, so I can't.
All right. Okay, so roll your body.
Here we go, guys. It's been nice knowing you. All right. Rolling 5. That's my body. I can. Never mind. I did that already. I got 3 hits. Just give it to me.
Okay.
Just give it to me, Mr. Johnson.
All right. Well, you're gonna take. After soaking 3, you're gonna take 9 boxes of physical damage.
Ah!
And I think for the sake of, if you're actually dropped by this, I'm gonna say for the sake of, for the sake of narrative as well as for future complication purposes, one of your limbs has been removed.
Yeah, I was
not one of the, not a cyber limb that you might have spent money. I can't remember if you have cyber limbs, but just it like curls around like your, you have bone lacing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
What do you have for cyber limbs?
I don't have cyber limbs.
Okay, so it goes around your left hand or your right hand, whichever one is your offhand. It kind of like spins a bit. You almost get out of the way, but it like suddenly spirals and tightens around, like just around your bicep, and then pulls and it just shreds all of the flesh off of your arm, leaving behind this sort of falling, held together by artificial cartilage, bone lacing skeletal thing left. That your actual hand has gone flying off along with the pile of
my goodness
awfulness, and just blood goes all over the place, and you go into shock and pain and go unconscious after seeing that.
I'm definitely out. Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how overflow works. Hold on.
Does it actually fill up your overflow? Because
I only had 5. I only had 5 boxes left.
Because you have your condition track, which is 8 plus half your body.
Yeah, but we started this with 6 of my boxes filled up. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I too gory for some people? We should have a warning up here, right? This is Shadowrun. It's the dark dystopian future and awful. Like, you remember that like scene in Johnny Mnemonic with the guy with like the razor whip thing, where like people would like slide and fall apart? Like,
yeah.
So I have a tendency to try to be cinematic in my descriptions of things, and that does include some gleeful, gory descriptions. So I should have warned you ahead of time. I'm sorry. I'll try to open with that next time. Or maybe say like, I'm about to say something really gory here. But yeah, it's just when bad stuff happens to characters in combat, saying, hey, you take 9 points of damage. That's not very interesting. Like, your hand or your limb gets shredded in this way. That's really awful, horrible, traumatic thing for your character. And in a continuing campaign, that's something that has a lot more, I guess, emotional and narrative impact than X boxes of damage. So I do tend to lean into that a bit. So apologies to anyone I've grossed out. I'll dial it back.
My mom can handle it. Don't worry.
All right. But yeah, Rooster is not in.
Rooster lost a wing. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Radio Free
He's
Supply.
leaking a lot, and apparently has gone mercifully unconscious. Okay, geez, that was bad. Let's see, Bebop on his turn, he just turns and just like, frag, just turns around and he's gonna spend his action throwing up messily, like kind of in between him and Lola.
Good.
So I'll give you guys that.
So
that'll be my sort of.
So for those wondering, I have 4 boxes of overflow. The way overflow works in 6th edition is you have, I just looked it up. You have body times 2 boxes of overflow damage that you can get. If you go beyond that, then you're dead.
Okay, so
but you have to heal
but you're well on the way.
Yeah, you have to heal the overflow before you can heal the just like you would expect. The overflow has to be healed first. So I'm 4 in. I've got a body of 5, so I have 10 overflow boxes that can be filled.
Okay, so you would have gone before Big Dave, but unfortunately
Not
your
anymore.
only action you can do now is bleed. And now it's Big Dave's turn, and he just says, Lola, God. And she turns and says, what? I'll let him shoot you next time. And he just he sort of stands there stunned for a moment. He's gonna point his gun at whoever's in your party that's nearest him, and just give it up here. Let's make this quick and clean. And he's pointing, I guess, at a Skipper. He doesn't actually shoot at this point, though. And then I guess we'll go to, it'll be Skipper's turn. I think, you and, no, Jin before Skipper, sorry. Jin's turn.
Okay. I am going to shoot at Big Dave. I'm going to burst fire at Big Dave with my Shiawase Arms Monsoon. What range would you say this?
Oh, this is like the first one. No, the
Well,
second
we're
one,
close?
actually. So, yeah, the first one would be like within 2 meters. Actually, this is the within 3
near?
to 50. So it'd be the second category. You're right.
Sure you want to shoot Big Dave?
All right.
You don't want to shoot the overzealous mono whipper?
Yeah. And because it's burst fire, my deal goes up by 4, so I'm at a 16 attack rating.
16 attack rating, and Big Dave will get you an edge.
Okay.
Nice.
Which, because I've made 2 previous logic tests this round, should put me at 4 edge now. And then I'm going to use... what's that one that allows you to make attacks on everybody?
Anticipation?
Anticipation. So yeah, we're going to hit everybody with that big bad burst fire.
So you just whip out your Shiawase Arms Monsoon, which is a... is that a sniper?
It's like a... No, it's basically like the assault rifle.
Oh, assault
I just
rifle. Okay.
reskinned it.
Gotcha. So you've just been kind of hanging around nearby with an assault rifle nearby. Just raise it. Because, yeah, why would you have an assault rifle to hand in this kind of situation?
I like my shit, and I don't go without it if I can. So do you want me to make one roll?
Yep, it's one roll for all of them here. But let's see. In that case, it is compared to the highest defense rating, and you will not get an edge.
Oh, come on, Cliff.
But you already got the edge you're using. Never mind, just keep it. I'm not going to think too hard about that. Just shoot the people.
I love it when the GMs cheat on my back. Okay, here we go. Please let this roll be awesome. That's awesome. I'll take it. 5.
5 hits, baby.
Five
Okay.
hits.
So you get 1 net hit on Lola and 3 net hits each on Bebop and Big Dave. What's the damage?
Damage
Before-
value is normally 4p, but with the burst fire bumps it up to 6p. So 6p, I guess on Lola that'll be 7p. And then on the others would be... What did you say?
9 in this
Yeah.
case. It's like so.
See there, Bobby? I knew what I was doing.
All right, so you shoot Big
And-
Dave. Like Big Dave is
Never
shot
dead.
a bunch and just drops
Oh,
in a bloody heap. Bebop is hit like while he's puking, like he's just seems like he's in distress, but not like dead or anything. And Lola is actually hit as well and bleeds some. It seems like she's they got some injuries like kind of up along her ribs, but wasn't dropped by the attack. So you sprayed them all with bullets and dropped 1, but 2 are still up. And then,
That's fine. I think that was a pretty healthy. I think it was a pretty healthy turn.
Yeah.
And then
And
now I'm
Intense.
going to bail behind some cover.
minor action to jump behind the truck or something. You can get, I guess, cover 4 unless they come walking around the side. Then it's kind of negated, but
I'll take it.
It'll work for now. And then it is. Yeah, suddenly there's this just complete scene of carnage now, where you were in the parking lot, Skipper, and you were just totally surprised and stunned by the violence. But now you've taken in what's happened, and it's your turn to finally do something. And no one's killed you yet.
I'm kind of shocked at that alone. Okay.
You almost got taser faced.
Like,
Taser
done at you, like, hey, let's make this quick and clean, and then like just a gunfire from Jin, and like just go bullets everywhere, all around you, hitting everybody but you, pretty much.
Rooster and Jin have seen some shit. We're not going down easy.
Yeah, so I'm going to use my minor action to run away. I'm going to go take cover behind another card, not mine. I have one major action, and I'm going to downgrade that to a minor action, just one, to tell my As Technology Crawler drone in the back to start shooting its AK-97 out at Big Dave.
All right. Well, Big Dave is down.
Oh,
You mean Bebop or Lola?
Lola's got the mono whip, right?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get that out of commission. So that's going to be a roll of 5 dice. Let's see. It's also got an attack rating of 5 for reference, but that's probably not going to get me an edge.
That will get
But I
her
did
an
get 3
edge,
hits.
actually.
And I still got 3 hits.
And she got 3 hits on the defense, which means you do hit for base damage.
All right.
Counting
That's
the
a
bonus
base
for
damage.
burst, if any.
Yep, that's base damage of 5 physical.
Oh, she soaked the whole thing. Like, she's hit with the bullets, but like
Oh no!
her armor jacket takes it, and she just doesn't seem to be hurt by it at all. She's a very tough troll.
Oh no!
Nice try, though.
Okay.
And now it's her turn, and I guess she's gonna turn and like whip the mono whip around over at the drone that just shot at her, I guess. So make a defense test for the drone. If you're not jumped into it, I think you just roll double its pilot rating. Because its pilot rating represents its
gonna be double.
attributes.
Yep, it's got a defense rating of 4.
So she gets
So
an
it's gonna roll
edge.
4 dice as well. 2 hits.
Well, she only got 2 hits, but that's still enough to hit. So roll the drone's body to soak damage. And it's going to be resisting 6 damage. Roll that. Let's see.
Oh
Bebop
no!
been shot. What do you do?
Alright, I only resisted 1, so I'm going to take 5 points of damage to that guy's condition monitor.
How many boxes does that drone have?
I believe it has 11.
Okay, so yeah, it slices off a chunk of it. Part of it is like, I think is it a walker drone?
Yeah, it's a walker. It looks like a big spider.
One of its legs is sliced off along with part of the upper chassis. But it's showing it's still functional. And then I guess next is Bebop's turn. Bebop, who just got shot and was throwing up, he like stands up and looks around and says, "Frag this!" And he picks up Big Dave and goes running around to the other side of their Ford Americar. He's gonna like open up the door and toss Big Dave in. Looks like he's getting ready to make a run for it, or maybe at least just get Big Dave out of the way before he comes back to kill you all. In the meantime, that's it for them that round, I guess, because Big Dave is not doing anything anymore for now. And we come back around to Jin's turn. Lola's still kind of up and standing there with her mono whip fighting the drone. Lots of gore around her. Big Dave has been tossed back into their car by Bebop, who picked him up and ran around that way.
Do I have a clear line on Bebop?
Not super clear, but relatively. You have to take a minor action to kind of like poke your head out or get ready to do something if you want to attack because you're in cover.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use my movement action or my minor action to get out of the cover and basically just I'm gonna Han Solo charge and just
if you just want to run around there, you kind of run around. You can see he's got the door open. He's standing there. He's tossed Big Dave in. There's a bunch of blood all over the place. Probably mostly Big Dave's in this context.
Just right in the back. Like I just and just charge him and just my burst fire just bursting fire.
Step around, where he doesn't really have any cover here. He looks over at you and you.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. My attack rating, 16 on this.
That's the same as his defense rating, so. No edge.
Gee whiz, this guy. All right.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna have him use some edge here to reroll some dice. Oh wow, that really paid off.
Yeah, I got 3. I don't like hearing that from you.
Yeah, I got 2 to start with, then I rerolled 3 dice with 3 edge and got 3 more hits. So,
oh man. Well, does that mean he's got 4 total?
No, that means he has 5 total.
Oh well, there's nothing I can do about it. All right, I guess.
He sort of ducks down, lets the car door take most of it, but he kind of raises his arms, which are these like big, tough-looking cyber arms, and there's bullets ricocheting off of them as well. Those are armored up.
Mother
crap. Hey, so I guess the time for making the case for edge would have been okay. Whatever.
All right. Next up, I guess we'll come to the end here. Sorry, I don't want to run too late, but gotta wrap things up at a good moment at least, or a good moment to end things at least. not subjectively good for anybody here, really.
Sounds like I get the next episode off. No.
And we're I guess next on to Skipper's turn.
Okay.
Skipper, you kind of ducked around the other side, around the Jeep those kids brought with them. That's on the opposite side of your truck from their Ford AmeriCar. And Lola's just kind of standing out there in the parking lot as a murder machine. She just sliced up your drone some, which I guess it will shoot now. We could roll separate initiatives for the drone, but...
Thinking... Graphically, tell me if this works or not. I'd like to hit reverse real hard on my rover.
So are you going to jump in and ram, or are you going to tell it to do it and have the autopilot make?
I think I'm going to jump in to make sure that we hit, but I want to make sure I'm not going to accidentally run over Rooster or something.
So
don't worry about it.
Jumping in, is that a major action?
Yes.
And I think doing the ramming attack will be a major action as well. Do you have the 4 minors who can do that after
I'm
jumping
not
in?
going to, so I just have to tell it to back up then, because telling it to do it's a minor action, and then...
Yes. And then you roll your vehicle.
So I'm not going to be able to jump in this round. I'm going to tell it to hit reverse real hard.
All right, so your
and
vehicle
low underneath.
tries to do that. Have it make a driving roll using its auto soft for piloting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, Rooster and Danan, I want to do kind of a luck test for the both of you. So each of you roll your edge.
Straight edge attribute, right? Not edge
Yep,
pool.
just a number of dice equal to your edge attribute. So
Good. I've got a good edge.
I have 3.
I have
3 hits?
5. 1 hit on 5 dice. Great. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad.
You know what?
Ooh, it delayed for some reason, but I got 0 hits on both the ones I rolled, so there you go.
is that a critical glitch though, or just 0
No,
hits?
just 0 hits.
It's just-
Okay, then you are not like happen to be laying in the path of the truck that's reversing.
That's good.
Alright. Going to, because this die roll is not going to go well for me, I'm going to not spend, with my action with 4 net hits.
Oh, so you're like permanently burning a point of edge due to 4 net hits on the ram for Lola?
I'm going to take that hit because I'm not going to roll well enough, and I don't see too many more ways we're going to survive this.
All right.
Skipper's a hero.
What's the damage for vehicle attacks against pedestrians? I don't think we've done that yet.
So let's see. Damage is half the body of the vehicle rounded up, +1 for each current speed interval, which, because it's going from parked, I'm going to guess is 1.
Yep, we'll go with 1 for that.
And it's got a body of 12, so that's going to be 7 points of physical damage. Soft targets inflict
Kill
quarter
them!
body rounded up
Sorry.
into the vehicle. Just normally.
Well, the vehicle will be looking at 3 back then.
Alright, so I'm going to roll 12 dice to see if it actually takes any damage.
Just buy the hits. That would get you the soak.
I rolled for 5, so we're good.
Oh, that works too. She soaked 3 of that. It was 7 damage. Just sort of like knocked back, but still actually like up on her feet, sort of her cyber legs sliding against the pavement, digging furrows in the asphalt and leaving trails of sparks.
And do I still have a minor action I can use to have the as technology crawler keep shooting at her?
I guess the as technology crawler will keep shooting. Will keep following orders, so we'll just keep shooting without your intervention. So you've only spent a minor action of your own this round. So I guess, yeah, if you want to have your drone shoot next, let's resolve that. I'm pretty sure she'll get an edge based on the her defense rating.
Yep, so only got an attack rating of 5, but I got 3 hits.
And she sort of hunkers down and basically mostly evades the attack by putting more of the vehicle in the way of the line of fire, so it can't target, and it just barely misses her. Anything else with your action? I think you still have some left.
Really, I think that's about all I can get done.
Okay. Back around to the next combat turn. Do we want to keep going and resolve this? I think we can in 1 turn, or do we want to leave this on a cliffhanger for next time?
Let's keep going. Why not?
Let's do it.
Okay, then I guess on 25, we'll go with Bebop first. He goes leaping into the car, like into the back of it. Basically, like he's tossed Big Dave into the back seat, and he just sort of goes leaping in along with, and pulls the door closed and gets about climbing into the front. I'm going to give him an athletics roll to see how well he can do this. And despite like being big and bulky, this is a metahuman modified Ford Americar, actually designed for Lola does the driving when they don't just do the autopilot. So there is room, and he managed to with his major action, squeeze up in and get in the driver's seat. And yells something in his comm. None of you can see. He's just yelling in the comm, "Lola, get in here! It's fragged! Let's just get out of here!" Not worth it! Not worth it! And on Lola's turn, she's like, yeah, getting pushed around by the truck, and like there's blood everywhere, and they're getting back in there. And she's gonna grudgingly go along with it. She sort of nods and goes, she's, I guess, spits at the front of your vehicle and slides to the side and goes running has plenty of actions to get in their vehicle. So they're all mounted up in their vehicle with the doors closed. If you like, we can have them peel off and drive away, which seems to be their plan since Big Dave isn't there to tell them to stay around and finish the job. They're getting into safety instead.
I have something else planned.
Okay, so I guess your turn would be next then.
Burst fire aiming at the fuel tank of the car. And because I was inspired by Austin, I'm just going to burn an edge to make sure they all go up in a big fireball.
Nice.
Because nobody messes with Jin and his Chicago Shack shooters.
Is that our team name now?
All right, so it's 5 edge to do a called shot vitals, which would
It's not really calling the shot. I'm just because that would be
your
kind of
burning edge to hit the car for 4 net hits. All right, what's your damage rating? With like a burst fire included plus 4 net hits?
It would be 10p.
Oh man.
The suspense is gonna be. I hope it
Right,
lasts.
that's not going to be enough to take out the car. It would just damage it a bunch. You wouldn't have a spectacular explosion killing them all. You would just mess up their car a bunch, which they would probably get a chance to drive away some. So I will allow you to
Make them
sort of
really
take back
mad.
your edge burn if you want.
Okay.
And just say you shoot the hell out of their car before they drive away and just let you keep the edge.
Okay.
Burning an edge is not going to mean like getting to kill them all in a fireball.
Could I just shoot the
Action,
driver instead? Would that work or not?
It's a blind fire, but yeah, you could try.
Blind fire with
Bird-
4 net hits.
If I burn an edge, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That's top in the front. So you do just blind fire, burn edge, 4 net hits, shoot through the windshield. It doesn't have the armor to like help prevent bullets from going through because it's a Ford America. So you said 10 damage. Yeah, Bebop was like the
Yeah.
nicest out of all of them.
That's true.
Did shoot at us.
But Bebop did try
At-
to taser Skipper in the face. And who the
Instead of
frags
the spur
tasers
in
people in
the
the face
face,
again?
Anyway, he takes like 9 damage because you're one of them. So the car's comes to a halt as he's like, you just shot him a bunch and I guess crashes into something. And there's already
Flies into a
sounds of
light post.
sirens in the distance.
Can we just-
and
Run over there and execute Big Dave for fragging on this.
you just like yell, running up, like just stick your gun in there. Just, I guess you
Yeah.
finish off Lola and Big Dave, and we'll
Yeah.
we'll fast forward through. It's a big bloody mess, super noisy. Like this is in full, like basically in the scene in the diner. Like the kids have like sat down. They're about to, like some of them are like, hey, everybody look, and like everyone goes and looks outside. There's like the sounds of gunfire. Like seems a little late for fireworks, and like they start to look outside. Like there's this. The car is starting to drive away, and there's the gunfire. It sort of rolls to a stop, and then then Jin just comes walking up with the gun, like shoots him a bunch. Like Lola like starts to get out, his gun down, like blood everywhere. Just empty your gun in there. The car starts on fire, and like you just glance over and see like there's like 30 or so people like in the diner just looking and watching you like. About half of them have friends of mine to like duck down all of a sudden, like hit the dirt.
Let's not forget that Jin looks like a badass to this whole thing.
Right? Yeah, you just gun down a bunch of people and like
Yeah, I'm thinking like the way I've played Jin before. the way I've written Jin, not really like this, but think about shit. Fragged up this whole, just put him on edge.
Bro's got a tipping point.
Yeah.
And you're not much for like having people to ask questions about and find out what's going on. I've got all this like subplot stuff going on underneath it, like it's totally not hitting the surface.
Oh,
Poor Sarah
don't mess
having to sit out all the time, getting one-shotted in every single fight.
I'm squishy. I should
I'm
have learned
sorry.
to stand behind Rooster.
I feel bad when you have to like sit out of so much of the game. That's I guess a drawback of,
we've got like what?
of playing tabletop
one
games.
more game
like
left?
a big chunk. Yeah, one session left to wrap things up, and
Wow.
I think it's gonna be more like I don't know. I don't know what to do.
We were supposed to track down the Johnson in the next session, and
I think we'll do like kind of a shorter session of you guys like kind of getting the frag out of town and patching your wounds and like calling, making arrangements to get a cyber limb and do a little bit of an epilogue thing, and then maybe take a decent chunk of time just talking about our experience playing the game.
Yeah, I think
and I will do within the epilogue all the stuff that was going on and tell people what happened.
I would certainly.
all the ways we messed up Mr.
Why they
Johnson's
were getting
really
shot.
story.
No, not necessarily that. It's just all these things, these plans and things going on behind the scenes that like are influencing these events. Why all this stuff is happening out of the blue, right? And you're not getting any chance to. Your characters are getting no answers, right? This is just Chicago will be like one of those things you refer to in years to come when you're doing runs in other cities and maybe like turning things around and succeeding and having things go better. Like sometimes you refer back to Chicago as like, nope, it's not going to be as bad as Chicago, at least, right?
This is like
this is not like that time in Chicago.
This is us speed running through the game and ignoring those.
Yep. So takeaways, I guess, from this episode, this session. It makes me want to. I don't know what exactly made me think this, but it makes me want to think about what it would be like to try and make a tank. Like one of the things that have been talked about in this edition has been the thing about soak and body being the only thing that you're using to soak and everything, and it makes me wonder if a soak tank is possible in this edition. So
It's something that was actively avoided.
I think even, you can do a soak tank that's potentially viable in 5th edition, but I think you have to go to pretty extreme measures to get enough armor points to effectively soak the kind of damage you're going to be taking if you're there when the bullets come for you.
Right, so there's kind of like two different approaches, right? There's the having the defense rating, but you'd have to have like basically if you want to avoid the damage, you really have to take advantage of cover in this edition. Like cover is a big deal in combat if you want to have more dice, I feel like.
Cover gives you additional defense rating, which increases your chance of getting edge when people try to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
And it also adds to your dice pool for defense.
Right.
Which doesn't help with soak though.
It's basically the only standard way. Yeah, it doesn't help with soak, but it's the only standard way to get more dice to try to in your defense test, right?
No, there's the dodge and block moves.
Oh,
and
fair.
The full defense action.
I use that all the time. I don't know how I could forget that. But the troll, a high body is what you would have to do to try to soak more. So.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that works with T as I play him with Shadowrun Origins. He's got, I think, a body of 9, so he should be able to soak a bit every now and then. But if we're looking at damage ratings of like 5 to 7 coming in from like solid hits,
right?
We're still talking about soaking, half of that with a good roll.
Yeah.
So you're still better off not being there when the attack.
Right. So if you really wanted to make the best soak tank, then you'd have to have really high edge too. You get your defense really high, get your edge really high, and then count on taking hits and building your edge back up so that you can just keep re-rolling whatever soak dice you have. Like the bone lacing, and the highest it can go, the highest body you can go. Like, I feel like you could absolutely.
Bone lacing, you can get essentially up to 4 ratings of it, and each level of that is like a point of body for soak.
One thing I have noticed go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, as far as I can tell, it's the only gear or augmentation in the game that gives you more soak.
Yes, so that would be a necessity. It would give you body and extra soak. and then pump your body up as far as you can go, get the best defensive armor you can have, and then have as much edge on hand as you can have, so that you can just keep re-rolling, misses and things like that. I think that would be viable. I think that you would absolutely have such a good defense that you would be generating edge, enough to be able to pull that off.
But
I think,
speaking of edge, like another thing that, and this goes along with what you're saying, like one thing I seem to have noticed is the simple fact that you can only use edge one time means you really have to think about how you're going to use that edge, and it makes me want to think about what is my purpose on this team, like what am I here for, and that's what I need. Like, so if you're the soak tank, like if that's what you're trying to build, then you have to save your edge for the times when you're being attacked and try not to use it at other times, right?
Absolutely. And that's what your role is. That's what you would do. Yeah. So, if you start using your edge for something else, you are doing it wrong. Like, you're not playing your role.
Right.
Not you're doing it wrong, but like...
No, but I think that's a fair... I understand what you're saying, and I think it's a fair thing to say because if you're, like edge is a much more integral part of the system. You're supposed to be using edge regularly, often, and it's part of how you do what you do. So I think it's fair to say, I see what you're saying about saying that it's wrong, but I think it's fair to say that part of how you do what you do is incorporating your edge into those actions.
So there's a question from chat. Using edge in combat, can you make opponents reroll dice? I don't know. It's ambiguous.
So you can block someone else's expenditure of edge by spending. Is it 2? Yeah.
It's a 2 edge
2
boost
points
to
of
negate the 1 edge of a foe.
Yeah, and if they're spending edge in a way like you need 4 edge to do it or not, then it would kind of negate their use of edge, I guess.
So
Maybe
it
they
doesn't
get 2 edge
say.
back. It doesn't really say.
Like 1 edge allows you to re-roll 1 die. It doesn't specify that it's your die.
It actually says it can be yours or your opponent's, but the result stands no matter what you roll.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. Cool.
Okay.
With the
And
reroll
can
one
you
die
spend
options.
multiple? Can you spend multiple edge for multiple dice?
I don't see why
Or is
not.
that not
the way
That's
that
the rule
works?
for
Yeah.
yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
And any of the edge expenditures, you can spend as many edges you want or have available if it's something that, like, you might add up. Like,
Yeah.
obviously,
On
you
edge
wouldn't do,
actions.
like...
Austin, where does it say that?
It's in the book in the edge section under spending edge.
Page
Reroll 1
105?
die, pick any die. Yes. Roll it. It can be yours or your opponent's, but the result stands no matter what you roll. This is done after all rolls have been made.
Yep. Also, another thing, if we're talking about using edge boosts to affect your opponents, there's a 5 edge boost that counts 2s as well as 1s as glitches for the target. So I've always felt just that seems a little expensive, but for 5 edge. But
I don't know. It might have been really fun to see Lola critically glitch on her mom.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
With the edge trying to lie our way through the hospital, I've been waiting. There's a 5 edge boost where create a special effect. Something beneficial happens to you out of pure coincidence.
I've keep always looking for ways to use create special effect. I almost had one that I had thought of in one of our sessions, but then something happened that changed it or something.
It is easier for me to visualize this in the Matrix or with magic. As a magical character or as a decker, I can think of a million different ways I can use this special effect thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, do you guys want to know something funny?
Sure.
of course.
The only reason Big Dave wanted you guys to said to bring the body was to have some sort of a pretense to meet you in person so they could kill you. After they told the Johnson what happened, the Johnson wanted them to kill you.
I told you we should have called him back and apologized for lying.
I could
But
tell
now
you
we have a
more,
reason
but
to go-
I can't yet at this point.
We could have a reason to go track down this Johnson after we heal up.
I can't
Right,
wait
but-
to have. I
You
can't
don't
wait
get to, you
to
don't get
have.
to do this.
I can't wait to have our abbreviated session and then hear all the plans that Cliff had for us that we didn't get to.
I don't have plans for
Canyon
you.
and
I
the
have
nuke and
I have plans for my NPCs. That's as a GM. I don't have plans for players. That's a sucker's game.
yeah, no,
I can speak from
I do the same
experience.
thing when I run. I know what the NPCs are doing. The players, they just do whatever they're gonna do, and that'll change everyone.
So
I'm
I'd have to run the numbers, but considering the biggest soak thing I can think of would be a troll. That's an adept. You pay lose a point of essence to get level 4 bone density augmentation bioware. Get it alpha grade, so it's going to stay within only 1 essence point cost. It'll give you 4 points, effective 4 points of body for the purpose of soak, but it doesn't actually increase your body attribute. And then you take 4 points of the adept power to increase in physical attribute. I think you'd be able to do 4 points if you had a body of at least 8. And you max out a troll, and you're going to have like upper teens for your soak dice pool.
Wow.
Yeah, but then also maxing out like your defense, like your armor, would be important too, so that you were always getting edge on tests.
Well, you're talking about a troll with a body boosted by magic up to a defense rating of something like in the upper teens as well, maybe even up to 20 or so after adding armor and accessories. So yeah, they're going to kind of have that too, but their defense pool.
Well, I mean, you say
is
that,
gonna
but
be a
like
little bit lower.
Jin had like 16 attack rating, and he's not even optimized at all. So like it's
Yeah,
conceivable that you can get pretty high in your. So you got to have to have
I'm
a
bit,
higher defense.
Actually, I'd like to run the numbers on that because you're using burst fire, which takes like I think 6 points off of your attack rating. I'm
No,
not sure
burst
how
fire
you had
gives
attack
4.
rating that high. No,
Burst fire gives 4.
Burst fire takes attack rating
you read
off
that
of your
wrong.
attack.
It gives you damage.
You're
in
sacrificing.
exchange for
Yeah, you're
attack rating.
sacrificing attack rating to increase your damage.
Yeah.
Okay, burst fire. It does say decreases the attack rate. Well, look who's the asshole. All right, I am.
Not an asshole, just learning the game.
I looked at it like
I didn't want to
4
stop
times.
and question it at the time. I just asked for the number. And
No,
just,
I looked at it 4
found it.
times and I saw increase every single time. I looked at it.
I have
Sorry.
totally done that in other ways in many.
Sorry,
times,
chat.
I'm
I let
sure,
you
so.
down. I let you down. You
Not
were
at all,
counting
it's
on
like-
me to tell you
stuff
the
that-
truth.
The stuff that like we look up like this is going to be more memorable. Even like
Yeah.
people are going to be more likely to remember that burst fire works that way. Right?
I kept thinking, God, that's so amazing. Why wouldn't you ever not?
I mean, it's still extra damage in exchange for like a chance to get edge or not for
Yeah.
1 point. I mean, like who wouldn't take that trade?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm burst firing all the time.
Well,
How? Go ahead.
I hope you had fun.
Yep.
I don't think I have anything else I want to add for now. We've already run a good chunk late, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
I had a great time tonight. Story-wise, this has been totally different than I expected. I mean, just the whole campaign thing. Just I had some ideas for stuff, and we just had fun doing other things.
Contact with the player characters.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you guys. A reminder. I'm going to remind you again about the Kickstarter. That.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, of course. That Sarah's going to drop a link to in the chat, I'm sure. Go check it out. It goes live what time tomorrow?
Noon Eastern Standard Time. So we're gonna drop it. So it's available in the morning in California and later in the day in Europe. Yeah, it's exciting. I'm really excited.
Noon
I'm
Eastern.
gonna be up late tonight.
Oh yeah,
She
I bet.
just keeps doing that thing. That sounds so weird.
It's kind of like my
Dry heave noise.
overwhelmed. Yeah, like, oh God, what did I get into? Noise.
It sounds like you're about to take a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's what I
mean,
keep hearing, like every time, like, or somebody's about to punch you in the stomach, and you're.
it's just like, how does Opti take shits? It's like,
Loudly.
He has to brace himself for it.
I have handrails.
I will be either super excited or about to take a shit tomorrow launching the Kickstarter, and I'll be doing posts throughout the day. And
If anxiety
it's gonna be super
affects you
exciting.
the same way it affects me, then probably both.
I'll be texting and tweeting from the bathroom. It's
But definitely check that out. Cyberpunk movie stuff. That's what we want to see. Video series. And so I'm excited about it. You guys should be as well. So we'll be talking about it all throughout that next episode. I'm sure we'll rave about it some more. Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you all in the chat for hanging out with us as well.
Yeah.
And we've been having a lot of fun previewing this for you guys. We got one more episode 2 weeks from today, so be sure to come for that. We'll finish this out and we'll talk a lot about 6th edition right before Gen Con when it gets in people's hands. So
Yeah, so that's the 25th, right, of July.
yes, yes, 25th of July. That's right.
Yeah, and then next week will be at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Many of us.
Yep. So hope to see many of you there. We'll talk about it again next time, and we'll see you around. Thank you guys, and bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Good night.